up in the parking lot. He was up there with the tailgaters about 2 hours before kickoff. And I said, Hawk, it's good to see you again. He said, I've never been up here tailgating. And I suppose that's true. He was too busy running the football up and down this artificial surface.
The Hawk looks like he still could run the ball in the artificial surface, Billy. And, you know, you talk about some of the players. It's so great to see all my former teammates, team players that I didn't get a chance to play with in the 60s and the 50s and the 70s. It was just a special night last night. There's going to be over 56,000 people here, Billy. You have 80 recruits in from around the country. It's a special day, and it's funny because we got to play a football game. The Fighting Irish are here. The Panthers still have a chance for a bowl game. It's senior day here at Pitt. So, I mean, there's all kind of things going on.
As we say goodbye to Pitt Stadium,
right,
19 seniors are saying goodbye to this crowd. And we might as well list them for you right now. Chiffon Allen, Greg DeBolt, DJ Dinkins, Julius Dixon, Chris Fiola, Damon Gibson, Julian Graham, Ryan Hansen, Seth Hornack, Ken Cashabera, who starts today at defensive end, Kenny Ketchen, Ben Kopp, Kirk McMullen, Matt O'Connor, John Parker, Hank Poteet, Kareem Thompson, and Ethan Weidel playing their final game at Pitt Stadium.
And Billy, one score to pass on. Penn State now behind Michigan. Michigan has scored now with under 2 minutes to go in the ball game. They lead Penn State 28-24 in Happy Valley.
Wow. So the Nittany Lions, their national championships hopes dashed last week by Minnesota, and today they are under the threat right now of losing 2 in a row. And who'd have thunk? The lights are on at Pitt Stadium probably because you know, it's only fair to have it, even though they have brilliant sunshine right now. The shadow's starting to lengthen, but obviously this game will finish in darkness, so they put the lights on at the top so that it's a gradual adjustment for the eyes of the players and the officials who work today's game. Representing the Big Ten, the referee Steve Newman. Tony Mihalik is the umpire. Jim Mullendore is the head linesman. The line judge is Paul Engelberts. The side judge, Tom Perrault. And the field judge is Henry Armstead. The back judge is John Langan. And now the seniors being introduced by the PA announcer Don Ireland, who, by the way, is working his final game. He's going to move to the state of Colorado, and he's been a great asset for the University of Pittsburgh Athletic Department because he does the football PA, men's and women's basketball.
He's a great guy, and he's fired up. He's got his Pitt tie on, and he knows the significance of this game. And as the seniors are being introduced, Billy, this game is so big right now, you can't get a seat. People are filing in, and I heard rumors that on the internet, tickets for today's game was being sold for over $300 a pop. So it's a tough ticket to get. There won't be any seats left. The pom-poms are handed out. They're going to have 50,000 of those, and it's just a special day for a special place.
If you hear a pause that doesn't seem to be easily explained, it's probably emotion.
Right.
So you bail me out, and I'll try to bail you out.
I will, Billy, and I know I get chills. I parked on the turf. I came up here yesterday for the final time for a pregame, and I parked my car on the turf, and I just got out, and it was just eerie. I had chills go through my body. There were people sitting up in the stands kind of by themselves, just kind of taking in the moment, and it really hit me yesterday. You know, on that same topic, I was talking to people as I was walking through today, Billy, and I know I got choked up yesterday when you got the award, and it's a very emotional day for both of us, just like for the rest of the 56,000. But a guy made a very good point today. He said it's a sad day for Pitt Stadium. He said, but it's an even sadder day for Pitt football if we don't get back to where we have to get back. And I thought about that, and I said, you know what? That's a very good point. He said, we can't live in the past. We have to move forward, and that's really what this is all about. I'm sorry, that score for Michigan-Penn State is 31-27. Michigan.
What did you give? 28-24?
28-24. Still 4 points. I'm caught up in the emotion. I can't count.
The seniors waving goodbye. Greg DeBolt. What a job he's done.
Right. And Billy, I can imagine the amount of emotion you have because obviously I spent 5 years here of my life playing football and then the last 5 broadcasting the games. But you've spent over 30 years with the university, 26, 28 seasons with the football team, and you've seen some great football games, some great football teams, and more importantly, some great people to come through this place here. So I can only imagine the emotions that are running through your body.
And Billy, we've mentioned some of the prominent names, Marshall Goldberg, Joe Schmidt, Tony Dorsett here. There is a rumor afoot that another great name may be by.
Well, Billy, Steve Peterson wanted me to make sure I pointed out there's a halftime show for everybody out there. Usually we have a guest, but the guest this week is going to be the halftime show. You're going to be up in the PA booth. You're going to be broadcasting up here. I'm going to have a wireless mic. I'm going to be partaking in the halftime ceremony. So we have that going on. After the game, there's a special celebration, so we're going to be carrying that live. So, Billy, we got a football game, and it's the Fighting Irish, and almost as a secondary spotlight. But what a day, what an environment, and what better of an opponent than the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Billy, and that's our third most common opponent. So I'm almost speechless this time thinking about today's ball game.
Well, once the game begins, Ozzie, it's almost like you're a player. You get that first hit, and then you get on with it.
Right.
But in the meantime, you know, it's tough to put that emotion aside. Here come Walt Harris and the Panthers on the field. Fireworks behind the scoreboard to our left, and the crowd just revved up, and largely a Panther partisan crowd. There have been many moments in this stadium, especially when the Panther program was down, that Notre Dame occupied more seats than did the Panthers in terms of crowd support, but today I don't think that is the case.
I don't think so either, and it's funny how Coach Harris, when he ran across the field, he kind of tipped his hat to the student section that's right below us. They're standing up, they're fired up, and it's going to be very important to keep this crowd in the ball game. There's a lot of emotions going on, and the last couple big crowds that we had here, we got out early and came back in the second half, but very important to keep the crowd in the ball game, Billy. And you talk about big crowds. Well, Notre Dame, who's getting booed soundly as they're coming across the field, believe it or not, this is the smallest crowd that Notre Dame will play in front of the entire season. They have played in front of 80,000 already 6 times this season. They played in front of 107 last week against Tennessee, 112 earlier this year at the Big House in Michigan, and 70,000 at Purdue. So they're used to playing in front of big crowds. They play in front of sellouts almost regularly. So it's going to be interesting to see what team gets that emotional backing here this afternoon.
Let's go to the PA announcer for this special ceremonial cone toss.
For today's game are some of the 82 Pittsburgh here today. Number 42, Marshall Goldberg. Number 65, Joe Schmidt. Number 60.
The voice you hear is Roger Houston. He did the PA here back in the 70s, back in those glory days.
And again,
Paul Martha. Number 72, Ernie Borghetti. Number 74, Gary Burley. Number 33, Tony Dorsett. Number 91, Al Romano. Number 70, Randy Holloway. Number 31, Bob Jury. Number 67, Tom Brazosa. Number 24, Gordon Jones. Number 79, Bill Fralick. And number 34, Greg Hayward.
And we missed part of that, Billy, but that's the coin toss. They're the honorary captains for tonight. And again,
and there they are, the greats. The referee is Steve Newman. I think he was conducting the coin toss while the ceremonial thing was going on. And so we did not get sorted out which way we're going to go with the football and who has it to start the game. But I think at this point, still emotionally, that football game is in the background.
It is. And Billy, maybe we can see if we can maybe distract the officials and suit some of those guys up there right now, because boy, oh boy, you look at the All-Americans that are out in that field right now. Half of them look like they can still get the job done.
Great to see Ironhead really come back from a tough physical mountain to climb.
Yep, he sat at my table last night, and for those of you who don't know, he had a brain tumor that was operated on and found out in Indianapolis, where I spent some of my time, and he had the operation at one of my hospitals, Methodist University out there, and he came back, and he's the same old Ironhead, cracking jokes, busting chops, and really glad to see it.
Let's go to Paul Pish down on the sideline. Paul.
Gentlemen, I'm already emotionally drained. The atmosphere down here is everything that the listeners think it ought to be. It is absolutely terrific. And this team, the Panther team, came out so pumped up that they literally steamrolled the CBS cameraman head over heels back to the Billy Club.
Well, Notre Dame has won the toss and will take the football and move left to right to start this football game. Skies are cloudless. Temperature is an unseasonable 63 degrees as we approach kickoff. The wind is pretty solid, about 12 to 15 miles per hour, basically right to left. And it's just a great day to say a final hurrah to the Grand Stadium.
Well, Billy, the only thing about playing in an emotional environment like this, as a former player, sometimes what happens, you get so emotionally spent before the game, it takes you a couple minutes to get back in the flow of the ball game. We'll see how the Panthers react here to start today's ball game.
Nick Lotz to kick it off right to left. For Notre Dame deep, Julius Jones and David Gibbons. It is Julius Jones back to the 1. Left at the 10 to 15. He's got a wall at the 20, 25, and knocked out of bounds as he crosses the 28-yard line and gets to the 29. Knocked out of bounds on the near sideline by the place kicker, Nick Lotz. So he started up the middle, then cut it to the right, and a good return by Julius Jones has Notre Dame out at the 30-yard line. Quarterback is Jarius Jackson. He's everything for the Irish offense. He throws at a completion rate of 60%. He's thrown for 12 touchdowns, rushed for 7. He is a one-man offensive work game. He goes I formation from the Notre Dame 30. Receivers to both sides. A wing back to the right side. Goes to the audible. Jarius Jackson turns, gives to the fullback, and the fullback goes straight ahead. Tom Lipinski, the sophomore from Hudson, Ohio, and rips off about 4 to 5 yards. Let's see where they spot the football. Out near the 37. So he got 7 yards on the play. Gibson and Walker make the stop for the Panthers. So Notre Dame with a power smack right off the middle has a 2nd and 3. They go slot left to the wide side. Offset backfield left. And Jackson under center. Jackson, the senior from Tupelo, Mississippi. Panthers show blitz. And the Panthers stack up the running back. And that is Tom Lipinski, the fullback. This time nowhere to run. He is knocked backwards as the Panthers get there in the person of Brian Knight and Hank Poteet in run support. There's 1 yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and a long 2.
Lipinski got waffled about 4 times that time. He got stopped for about a 1 yard loss, but he kept his feet moving, bounced off the would-be tackler for the Panthers, kept driving forward, and didn't pick up 1 yard, but about 4 headaches on the same play.
3rd down 2 for the Irish at their 38, opening drive of the football game. And now the shadows are lengthening with this late start. Audible by Jarius Jackson, the senior from Mississippi, with a flanker left and 2 tight ends. Option left, pitches it back. Turning the corner is Tony Fisher. He's got the 1st down and then is driven out of bounds on a hard tackle far side across the 40 up to the 43-yard line by Hank Poteet. A 5-yard gain and an Irish 1st and 10.
Well, when you get the wide side of the field and you get Jarius Jackson running out there, you better make sure you cover him up, and the Panthers did just that, but they got outflanked on the option to the wide side of the field, and Tony Fisher, the fine tailback back there, picked up the 1st down. And the Irish has done a nice job here. The crowd is somewhat quiet, and they're moving the football.
Scoreless game. Slot right. Flanker outside the slot man. 1st and 10. Notre Dame from its 43. Jackson again. A check with me. Steps in. Panthers show blitz. Now they go option right to the wide side. Jackson is going to turn and keep and get a yard, maybe a yard and a half. That's about all. The Panthers did a good job that time of staying at home, and Jackson, the experienced quarterback that he is, decided to keep it before being met by Damon Gibson, the senior defensive tackle from Penn Hills, and Joe Conlon, the starting right defensive tackle, sophomore from Greensburg Central Catholic. It's 2nd down. We'll call it 9.
And Jarius Jackson's a big guy back there, 6'1", 235. But if a quarterback for the other team runs the option, you want to make him commit, and you want to pound him all day long. So as you get into that second half, he's starting to feel a little wobbly by taking all those carries, running the option play.
2 tight, 2nd and 9 at the 44. Play action fake. Jackson wants to throw it for the 1st time. Out pattern is complete, but stumbling and falling is Joey Goodspeed, the fullback, senior from Montgomery, Illinois, is met by Kareem Thompson, the Panthers' weak side linebacker, 5th-year senior from Roanoke, Virginia. The gain is out over the 45 to the 46-yard line for 2 yards. It's 3rd down and 7.
And that's what happens when you can run the football a little bit. That'll set up, the play action pass. That's why Jackson, the quarterback, is so efficient throwing the ball downfield. This is a little tougher down and distance. Not third and short. This is third and long.
And it's shotgun with 2 sidecars for Jarius Jackson. David Gibbons checks in as a third wideout for the Irish. 3rd down and 7 from their 46. Center John Morandi is out over the football. Here's the snap, and Jackson's back. Has time, fires a pass. It's incomplete, into and out of the hands of the intended receiver at the Panther 46-yard line. Diving and coming up empty is Joey Getherall, the junior receiver from Hacienda Heights, California. Punt formation for the Irish.
Well, Getherall was just running a quick option route. He was wide open. Jackson just did not get him the football, and the Panthers defense holds.
Kind of threw it nose down.
Yep.
Punt formation for the Irish. Joey Hillgrove is a true freshman from Centerville, Virginia, averaging 39.7 yards per punt. Low and wobbly on the bounce. Poteet gathers it in at the 20. Gives ground, being chased back at the 15. Tries to turn the corner, and he's down at the 15-yard line. Great open field tackle for the Irish and their special teams as Poteet tried to swing it out to the left side wide, and he is knocked off his feet under that punt by Rocky Boyman, an outside linebacker for the Irish. With the game scoreless, 11:41 to go, first quarter. This is the Pittsburgh Panther Radio Network.
If you want to get a better read on Pitt,
the punter for Notre Dame, Joey Hillgrove, and minus 5-yard return for Hank Poteet, who was nailed at the 15-yard line. Panther fans say thanks to Duquesne Light. More power to you. And to the Pittsburgh Tribune Review. For a better read on local pro, college, and high school sports, turn to the Tribune Review. Subscribe now to get the Weekend Plus package, Thursday through Sunday, delivered to your home for 1 full year. Now only $9.99. Call 1-800-909-TRIB today. Panthers starting out at their own 15, and the fans are still pouring into Pitt Stadium, capacity of which is 56,000 and change. And I think we're going to get there today, although in previous times, I remember a Pitt Notre Dame game had 60,000 here. The Fordham series, 66,000. How did that happen? Well, they were allowed at the time to set up temporary stands, bleachers on the field. That is no longer the case.
Well, Billy, I think some of the people that have been in Oakland a long time have their own way to get into this old stadium, because if you're looking around, there's still people 5 and 6 deep along the top of the rim, and that doesn't count the people that are outside the stadium. So we may hit 60 here this afternoon.
John Terman, the Panther quarterback, sets him up in an I, flanker right. Notre Dame with a 5-man front. Terman with a long count. He's going to throw it on first down. He's back. Has plenty of time. Fires it down the sideline. The pass is into and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Antonio Bryant, out at the 41-yard line. He was between Clifford Jefferson. He had safety help from Deke Cooper, the free safety, and he could have squeezed it and didn't.
Well, Billy, that was what you call just a little wheel route out to outside. Antonio Bryant, it was covered too, so the corner was rolled up a little bit. Antonio took an outside release, and there's really only one gray area you can throw that football. John did that. The safety came off the hash. Cooper did not get there in time. Actually, that ball should have been caught. Bryant just dropped the football, but a nice throw by Terman on that first down play.
Panthers go slot right on 2nd and 10 from their 15. Notre Dame shows blitz. Terman out of an I. Play action fake, and he's back. The blitz is picked up for the moment. Now he's in trouble. Now he goes down at the 10-yard line. Sacked from behind by defensive end Lamont Bryant, the senior from Georgetown, South Carolina, but that, folks, was a coverage sack.
It really was. I don't know if the receivers out there did not look around in time, because John had time to throw the football. That's only the 12th sack all season by the Notre Dame defense, but people just did not get their heads around, and John was forced to take that sack. But now this sets up a 3rd and long situation, and we're talking about field position. Right now the Panthers going backwards.
Notre Dame allows 46% of 3rd down opportunities to be converted by the opposition. That is a goodly number if you're the offensive team. 3rd and 15 from the 10. Terman changes the play at the line of scrimmage with 6 on the huddle clock. He's ready to go, and he's back to his goal line. Now he scrambles forward. He's going to run. He's at the 15, dives at the 20, gets to the 21-yard line. Needed 15, got 11. It's 4th down and 4. And strong safety, Johnny Sanders, the senior from Houston, made the stop.
Well, you don't want John Terman going head first into the pile like that, especially with your starter Priestley on the sideline, not even dressed up, but Terman trying to give his body up, trying to pick up the first down, got waffled, but ended up a little bit short of the first down. The Panthers forced the punt.
John Parker is the long snapper. Greg DeBold awaits, and Julius Jones, the freshman return man from Big Stone Gap, Virginia. His brother Tom Jones is a great runner for the Virginia Cavaliers. And the Bolt booms this with the wind. Signaling for the fair catch is Jones. Takes it his own 32. Let's go to Paul Pish on the sidelines.
Gentlemen, I'm here with All-American Ernie Borghetti. Ernie, what do you think of this crowd to send off this stadium?
Oh, I think it just shows what great fans we have here in the city of Pittsburgh and what Pitt football can be in the future.
How about this team? They're really pumped up for this particular game.
They should be. I mean, this team could go down in history forever in Pitt football as the team to beat Notre Dame in the last game in Pitt Stadium.
That would be terrific. Thanks a lot, Ernie. I appreciate it.
Ernie Borghetti, a great All-American lineman, and his son E.J. Fine job as the sports information director here at the university. Crowd reacting to the Penn State loss as it was announced by the PA announcer. From the 32, Notre Dame with a delayed handoff. Tony Fisher swings it wide left. Open field, 35. Marker down behind the play. He's knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line. But behind the play, referee Steve Newman threw a flag as Julius Jones ran wide left.
Well, Billy, the holding's on the left guard on Damon Gibson. Number 55, Jim Jones, was out there on Damon Gibson. Damon, trying to come off the block, was actually pulled from behind. He threw his arms up like, hey, throw the flag, as he was chasing the guy down the field. But the back judge, the official back there, the referee, Steve Newman, picked up the holding and called the personal.
So it was one of the tackles who held Damon Gibson.
Nope, it was number 55, Billy.
It was the guard, Jim Jones?
They pulled the Jones on that the guard on that bounce play, right in the middle of the field.
Called against Notre Dame.
It'll be an 11-yard penalty, so the spot of the infraction was 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage. And that's why the ball is placed for another first down at the 21. It'll be first down and 21 at that point. Panthers go nickel. Jackson goes shotgun on 1st and 21 from the Notre Dame 21 in a scoreless game. 9:52 to go first quarter. He gets a direct snap. He's back screen, and he throws it away at the feet of the intended receiver, Tony Fisher. But he wisely threw it because if Fisher catches the ball, they're going to take a loss on the play. Nick Cole was up in his face. It's good to see the sophomore from Brooklyn, Ohio, back after missing several games because of a leg problem.
Well, Billy, the Panthers showed blitz that time and did a terrific job of snuffing that screen out that was trying to be developed. The Panthers had 7 men in the box looking like they were coming with a big blitz. Just as the ball was snapped, they got out of there. It was a 3-man rush, and as you said, Billy, Nick Cole snuffed out that screenplay to Tony Fisher and was right there to force the incompletion.
Now under center operates Jackson with twins to the boundary left and 2 wideouts to the wide side right. 2nd and 21 from the ND 21. He's back. He looks, fires over the middle. The pass is caught, but an immediate tackle at the 26 on Joey Getherall by Seth Hornack. The senior strong safety from Burrell had linebacker help from middlebacker Ryan Gonzalez, the sophomore from Saddlebrook, New Jersey.
And Billy, I talked to Coach McGovern, who's the defensive back coach. He said Seth Hornack is getting the start here this afternoon because he outplayed Pongo in practice. But he said, I will not hesitate. When they go 3 wides, I'm bringing 3 corners in. We're going to go 5 DBs, and we're going to play a lot of man coverage underneath.
Panthers make 5 substitutions. Back to the shotgun on 3rd and 16 from his 26 is Jarius Jackson. Panthers show blitz out of that front. Jackson with 2 sidecars is back. Has plenty of time. Now he fires it down the field, and it's incomplete. Having to go back and reach for it is Jay Johnson, the senior from Starkville, Mississippi, but it was thrown behind him. It would have been a first down out at the 48-yard line. It's incomplete, and the punt team is on for Notre Dame once again.
Well, again, the Panthers trying to confuse the Fighting Irish. They had 6 or 7 men in the box at that time. And again, only a 3-man rush dropped everybody else back into coverage. That ball should have been caught. Jay Johnson would have picked up the first down. Fortunately for the Panthers, the ball was dropped. Panther punt return team on the field.
High snap from O'Leary, but Hillbold gets it away. Joey Hillbold punts it out of bounds in Panther territory at the 30-yard line. So it's a pretty good punt. 46-yard punt, 44-yard punt by Hillbold out of bounds. There's no return. With this game scoreless at 8:56 to go first quarter, Bill Hillgrove and Bill Osborne at Pitt Stadium for the final time. This is the Pittsburgh Panther Radio Network.
When you're choosing...
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Pittsburgh Panther Radio Network.
Reserve a spot on your radio for Pittsburgh's only all-news station, KQV Pittsburgh, flagship of the Pittsburgh Panthers.
We'd like to alert our stations along the Panther Radio Network that for halftime today, we will cluster 1/2 of our breaks right at the end of the first half. Then the other half before the start of the third quarter. So attention board ops, we may be able to bring you the halftime extravaganza in its entirety, and that's why we're changing the halftime breaks, and we appreciate your cooperation. Ozzie, so far so good for the Panthers. Jarius Jackson 2 for 5 for 7 yards. John Turman's thrown the ball once. It was dropped.
Well, now field position in the favor of the Panthers. They get the ball at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 Panthers. They go I slot left, and Notre Dame comes in and makes contact. Across the line of scrimmage was Brad Williams, the senior defensive tackle from Orange, California. The question is, did a Panther move? And that's what we have to sort out here with referee Steve Newman. And let's see what has been decided as the officials have a little quick confab.
Offside by contact on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Billy, a couple scores here to report. It's going into overtime. Syracuse and Rutgers all tied up at 21. That game is going into overtime. Boston College beats West Virginia 34-17. You already gave the Michigan score. They upset Penn State 31-24 or 31-27. I have a couple other scores after this play.
1st and 5 Panthers from their 35. Turman falls down as he hands the ball off. Fortunately, the exchange is clean with tailback Nick Goings, and he kind of stumbles forward and gets to the line of scrimmage and not much more. Let's see where they spot the football. They're going to put it right at the 35. Bryant and Ferrer. Bryant, defensive end at 6'3", 272. Joe Ferrer, the 6'2", 233-pound linebacker on that side, are credited with the tackle. It's 2nd down and 5 for the Panthers from their 35. Motion by the slot man. Lateef Bryant goes right to balance. And the give is to Goings, and he sidesteps a man and dives up over the 40 and gets the first down to the 43-yard line. Needed 5, got 8. Deke Cooper, the free safety, credited with the tackle. Kevin Barlow comes on the field for the Panthers.
Off that right side, the Panthers going behind McCurley, the center, Anderson, the guard, and Hanson, the tackle. A nice seam there. Nick Goings bounced it to the outside between the tackle and the end gap and picked up the first down. Very important for that offensive line to get some movement, to take some of that pressure off that quarterback and get the run game going.
Panthers go I slot left to the wide side from their 43 in a scoreless game so far. John Turman at the helm for the injured David Priestley. Play action fake. Now he's going to roll left. On the run, he fires a pass down the field. It's caught by Grimm at the 32-yard line of the Irish for a big Panther first down. Deveron Harper, the cornerback from Orangeburg, South Carolina, made the tackle. But a great play by Turman. How about that? Rolling to his left and firing a strike to Grimm.
Well, I like the way Grimm kind of changed his route a little bit. Bryant
They string it out very well. Matter of fact, they're going to say there's no gain on the play.
Other scores to report: Georgia Tech over Clemson 45-42. Minnesota over Indiana 44-20. Illinois upsets Ohio State 46-20 at Ohio State. Of course, the Michigan score, they beat Penn State 31-27. And another final in the top 25 action: Marshall 31, Western Michigan 17.
2nd and 10 at the 32. Turman with a play action fake. He's back. Pocket collapses. He scrambles forward. He gets to the 25-20. First down 15. And he's inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. John Turman busts it right up the gut before Deke Cooper can keep him from getting in the end zone.
Well, John better be careful, because he's going to get too big of a headache if he keeps going head first and taking on that collision. But interestingly enough, I talked to J.D. Brokart, and they said John Turman has good quicks back there. He's a little more mobile than David Priestley. They told him if he gets pressure, take off and run. And what happened there? They were in man-to-man coverage. The secondary and linebackers were flipping and running with the receivers. That opened the entire middle up. Turman recognized it and picked up another first down.
He made the linebacker Ferrer miss. 1st and goal at the 9. Throwing is Turman. The pass is caught for the touchdown. Antonio Bryant in the end zone. Snuck in under the coverage of Clifford Jefferson, and the Panthers strike first.
What a terrific throw by John Turman. Clifford Jefferson had Antonio Bryant covered on what you call a fade route. But a lot of times what they're doing nowadays, they're saying, we're going to ear hole you. We're going to throw it behind you. So look for the football, because what happens is that defensive back has to turn his head and flip and run. Jefferson never saw Bryant stop and never saw that ball coming behind him, but Bryant did it purposely, and Turman read it and threw a strike. The Panthers on the board early.
McMullen to snap. The holder, Tim Stein. Nick Lotz to try the point after. The ball is down. The kick by Lotz is on its way. The kick is up and good. And the Panthers lead it 7-0, marching at 70 yards in 6 plays.
A terrific job of John Turman running the offense. A nice job of him picking up that some of the defenses, throwing the ball when he has to throw the ball, not making mistakes. And then a terrific job down there in the red zone on the touchdown to Bryant.
6:23 to go first quarter with a score of 7-0. University of Pittsburgh leading the Fighting Irish. This is the Pittsburgh Panther Radio Network.
If you want to get a better read on Pittsburgh, get it from the people who live it.
Writing in Pittsburgh is great because this is a sports town. I think my attitude...
The Panthers lead at 7-0. Let's go to the sideline and Paul Pish.
Guys, I'm with All-American Hall of Famer Tony Dorsett. Tony, quite a drive to start this football game.
Absolutely, man. What a great drive, for these guys to get on the scoreboard first. The fans are here, reflecting back on a lot of fun memories over the years, and for them to get on the scoreboard first is very exciting, man. A lot of electricity flowing through the stadium right now.
A lot of memories for you, Tony. What was your biggest thrill in this park?
Well, we had a lot of fun memories here, but we had myself in particular, individually, had a big game against the Fighting Irish here. My junior year here in Pitt Stadium, rushing for 303 yards and us beating them 34-20. Wouldn't that be ironic? Well, if we can put up the same type of score today.
Absolutely. Back upstairs, guys. Thanks, Tony.
Right,
Thank you, Paul, and thank you, the legendary one.
Hey, Billy, he said he had a big game. That's an understatement.
Yep, he had a career against this outfit. Nick Lott's kick is high and short, taken at the 7 by Julius Jones. Right side 15, crease at the 20, and down from the side at the 24-yard line on a diving tackle by senior D.J. Dinkins, the fifth-year product of Shenley High School in the Pittsburgh City League.
And D.J., I spoke with him in the training room. He's all fired up, Billy. Some of these guys can't really appreciate the 75 years of the tradition of Pitt Stadium. D.J. is not one of them. He grew up here, went to football games here in high school and grade school, so good to see him get a tackle. It's a special day for him and his family.
It sure is. From the 24, the Fighting Irish break the huddle. And they go with a tight formation. Now they put a wide out and a flanker left, and they kind of widen things a little bit with an I formation and quarterback Jarius Jackson under center. Outside motion from the left by Getherall. And a play-action fake. Jackson back, floating a pass down the field. It's caught on the run. First down to the 40. Tight end Dan O'Leary is run out of bounds up at the 42-yard line by strong safety Mark Ponko. But Jackson put great touch on that ball, and it's a big gain and a first down for the Irish.
Well, Bill, you called it a great touch. It's exactly the description for that pass. Play-action pass. Held the linebackers a little bit, and the tight end O'Leary snuck out there. And he floated that pass over there, Jackson did, right over the outstretched hands of Mark Ponko, and the Fighting Irish on the move.
18-yard gain, 1st and 10, Notre Dame at its 42. They redeploy the tight end, strong right. And so they have him covered. Play action fake, Jackson looking right. Now he's dancing. Now he's being chased out of the pocket and sacked back at the 31-yard line with a diving sack by freshman linebacker Gerald Hayes, the strong side linebacker from Patterson, New Jersey.
Well, it was a two-man route. It was a curl-flat combination down here with Joey Getherall and Bobby Brown. The Panthers jumped it very quickly. They were not fooled by play action, and Jackson was forced to scramble a little bit. A lot of time to throw the football, but with a two-man route, if you can cover somebody, you don't have anywhere to throw the football, and Jackson tried to scramble, but a diving tackle, as you said, by Hayes, forces a sack, and that is the 27th sack given up by the Fighting Irish offense.
An 11-yard loss, 2nd down, 21. The Irish from their 31. Now they offset the backfield right, and Jarius Jackson does not like what he sees and calls time. Jackson of the Irish looked around and said, we're not ready, and I don't like what they're throwing up, and so he decides to call the first timeout in this half for the Fighting Irish. 5:21 to go first quarter. Panthers lead at 7-0.
And, Billy, it's interesting as you look around and you see the Hawk down there, Tony Dorsett. There is not a seat to be had here in Pitt Stadium, and I still can't believe when you're looking around the rim of the stadium, not counting the people that are outside looking in over the hill, but they're 5 and 6 deep at some places. I don't know if they don't have enough seats for them, or they printed too many tickets, or they just found crinks in the armor around Pitt Stadium, and they got let in.
Arkansas leading Tennessee by 4 in the third quarter. Wow. Panther fans say thanks to Duquesne Light. More power to you and to UPMC Sports Medicine. Choose your health care as if your life depended on it. There'll be an appeal, a video appeal by Coach Harris for this crowd to please do not disturb the surface of this stadium. People will be trying to take some souvenirs out of here. I don't know how you can get a bleacher seat out of here, but the Panthers have to practice here several times before the season finale against West Virginia on the 27th of November. So in the next 2 weeks, the surface of this field is going to be important for this program.
And let's not forget, if the Panthers beat Notre Dame here this afternoon and they beat West Virginia 2 days after Thanksgiving, that makes them bowl eligible. So they may be practicing the entire month of December, and for Panther fans, that's what they hope exactly what happens.
Wing back to the left side for Notre Dame. Jackson offset backfield right. Now he's got to check with me. 2nd and 21 from his 31. Jackson, option right, keeps it, turns it upfield, gets up over the 35 and is tackled as he dives forward to the 38-yard line. And a good effort by Jackson to pick up 8 yards to the 39. Gerald Hayes ended the play with a tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 13 for the Irish.
Well, as we talked about, Jackson's a big guy, and coming into today's ball game, he has carried the ball 116 times, 5 more than anybody else on that team, including the tailback. So he's not afraid to throw the football. He's not afraid to run the football. And Bob Davies said when he was recruiting Jackson and he was a defensive coordinator, he thought Jackson would be a linebacker because he was so tough.
3rd down, 13. Fighting Irish go shotgun from their 39. Jackson awaiting the direct snap from center John Morandi. Panthers show blitz. Here they come. Back is Jackson. He steps up, tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Getting a hand up at the line of scrimmage is big DeMond Gibson on the pass intended for Joey Getherall. Listen to this crowd.
Well, once again, the Panthers look like they're going to blitz, but this time they do blitz. They bring the hit man, Ramon Walker, right up the middle. He was picked up, but the Panthers were getting to Jackson. He felt it. He stepped up in the pocket after getting pressure from the backside, and DeMond Gibson knocked the pass down, and the Panther punt return team on the field again.
Hildebold, the punter, gets rid of it. It's low and wobbly. It's going to hit at the Panther 32 and bounce toward the sideline out of bounds inside the 25. The ball is ruled out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Hildebold doing a good job of keeping the ball away from the ever-dangerous Hank Poteet on Panther punt returns.
That's funny you said that, Billy. I was thinking the same thing. I don't know if he's just shanked a couple kicks or if he's actually trying to kick the ball away because Hank Poteet is now back there after taking off a week because of hurt ribs.
So the ball is out at the 21. The punt then traveled 29 plus 11. That sounds like 40 yards to me. No return. Moodhart and Kevin Barlow are the backs split behind John Turman. Panthers from their 21. Turman, short drop, post pattern. It's intercepted on a tip. With the football is cornerback Deveron Harper. And now there's a fumble, but Notre Dame recovers at the 26-yard line. The ball went into and out of the hands of the intended receiver on the post pattern on the quick slant, and the ball just popped up for Harper, and Harper picks up his 3rd Oskey of the football season.
Well, Antonio Bryant, a freshman, down below, all by himself on the slant pattern. John Turman threw a perfect pass, was right in his hands, fooled everybody off that play action, but Bryant dropped the football, and as you said, went right in the hands of number 10, Devon Harper. Notre Dame gets a break deep in Panther territory.
Harper fumbled, and then Deke Cooper recovered. And here come the Irish at the Panther 25, making that the 26-yard line. Play action fake. Nope, they hand it off, and the Panthers are all over fullback Tom Lipinski, the sophomore from Hudson, Ohio, who stands 6'1", 256. First man to him is a guy having a great game, and that's freshman linebacker Gerald Hayes.
Go to PanthersLive.com to hear every radio broadcast on the Panther Sports Network. Whether it's football or basketball season, fans with internet access can catch all the action from anywhere in the world. That's PanthersLive.com.
2nd down 11 for Notre Dame at the Panther 27 after the yard loss. Jackson has a conventional I with 2 tight ends and a flanker to the right side. That's Joey Getherall. Play action fake, and Jackson's back. He's looking, has plenty of time now. He's hit, spun, throws the ball down the field, and it's incomplete. Off the extended fingertips of Joey Getherall, trying to come back and help out his quarterback. But a great job by Ken Cashabera, 5th-year senior defensive end from Newcastle, to harass Jarius Jackson and force that incompletion.
The Panthers doing a terrific job getting pressure on Jarius Jackson. That time he was looking for his big tight end, Jabri Holloway, back there, but Ramon Walker covered him up in the secondary. So he tried to check it down to his secondary option, and that was Getherall on the comeback pattern. The Panthers had him triple-teamed for the incompletion, now 3rd and long.
Bobby Brown split to the boundary left. Getherall, flanker right. Jackson under center with a 3rd and 11 at the Panther 27-yard line. His team trails 7-0. Huddle clock at 5. Jackson steps in. Jackson takes. He's back. He looks. He fires. The pass is complete inside the 20 to the 19-yard line for an 8-yard gain to Getherall. But now it's decision time as Hank Poteet makes a quick tackle on the pass receiver.
Well, he's 3 yards short of the first down. Getherall running that comeback route. You like to be able to pick up the first down. But he came up short. Jackson hit him, but the Panther defense holds again after that interception. And it looks like they're bringing in, they're bringing in the field goal unit.
Jim Sanson is 3 for 8. He's the senior from Scottsdale, Arizona. This will be a 36-yard field goal, angle right to left. The holder is walk-on James Caputo, and the snapper is Gerald Morgan, sophomore from Mesquite, Texas. Ball is down. That kick by Sanson is on its way, and that field goal is up and good from 36 out, and Notre Dame answers and trails by 4.
Well, the Panther defense, that's a W. That's a win for that Panther defense. They get the interception inside the 20-yard line. They go backwards or inside the 25-yard line. Nothing really happens. The Panther defense, give them credit. They come up big, and they only give up 3 points after that interception by the Panther offense.
Yep, it was a tipped interception into and out of the hands of Antonio Bryant. Harper picked it off, his 3rd swipe of the year, but then he fumbled. Deke Cooper, his safety, fell on the football, and Notre Dame engineered a very brief 3-and-out field goal drive. The field goal by Sanson from 36, and the Irish trail at 7-3.
Well, some other games in action here, and some finals as well. A final, Arkansas over Tennessee, 28-24. Florida over South Carolina, 20-3. Michigan State beats Northwestern, 34-0. In the second, it's Southern Miss, 27. University of Lafayette, Billy, they're nothing. Alabama over Mississippi State. Jackie Sherrill's Mississippi State, 3-0. That's late in the first quarter. Also in the first, it's East Carolina 14, Cincinnati nothing. And of course, the big scores right now, Syracuse, the upset. Listen to this one, Panther fans. Rutgers upset Syracuse 24-21 in overtime.
Here's the kickoff by Notre Dame, fielded by Torrey Cox at the 5, 10, open 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and down at the 41-yard line. Took off like a jet, did the freshman from Miami Northwestern, and Torrey Cox fires up a big kickoff return before Donald Dykes gets him off his feet, and the Panthers have good field position and a 4-point lead late first quarter.
Oh, what a seam right there that time by the Panthers kickoff return unit. They had a seam set up there that you could have drove the homecoming float through. Torrey Cox with that quick burst, he doesn't need much. He got a nice kick-out block on the outside. He took it up in there, and the ball's on the 40-yard line. First down, Panthers.
Turman sets him up in a tight eye with a flanker to the boundary right, and he goes in motion, does Lateef Grimm, to the wide side left. And the give is to the tailback, and Notre Dame is all over Kevin Barlow, and he tried to go left end and couldn't make it, lost a yard. Let's go to Paul Pish down on the field.
Gentlemen, I'm with another name you'll recognize, Mr. Al Romano. Al, quite a defensive stand after that fumble.
It's just what they needed. I'll tell you, they can beat this team. They just got to stick together, do what they're doing right now, and they'll beat this team.
Al, you look like you could go out and play.
I tell you what, being down here on the field again, it gets you excited. I wouldn't mind.
I'll bet you wouldn't. Thanks a lot.
Panthers lose 2 yards at second down 12. Now they go slot right, and Barlow goes in motion left. Turman is back. Turman to throw against a 4-man rush. Down the middle of the field, the pass is caught first down at the Notre Dame 47.5-yard line by a diving freshman, Antonio Bryant.
Antonio Bryant in the slot, running the center, the middle read, the in route. John Turman looking back there on a 7-step drop. Nice job of protecting him up front. And he found Bryant in between the linebacker seam, Billy, and a nice stat by Bryant. 34 of his 47 catches coming into today's ball game have gone for a first down or a touchdown.
And 12 for 20 yards or more. The give is straight ahead to Chris Viola, the senior from North Hills, a former walk-on and a fifth-year product of North Hills High School, 6'1", 230. And he grinds for a yard to the 46, where Anthony Denman, the linebacker on that side, and defensive end Grant Irons, who was listed as questionable because of a leg injury, was kicked in the leg last week against Tennessee. But they call the ball down at the 46. It's second down and 9. Panthers lead at 7-3. Clock winds first quarter to 1:16. Notre Dame showing blitz. A lot of folks at the line of scrimmage. And here comes Turman running for his life, and he's sacked inside the 45 at the 43-yard line. Climbing up his back is Grant Irons, who crashed from his defensive end spot and looked like he came in unblocked. As a matter of fact, the Panthers did not look like they were ready when the ball was snapped. It looked like Notre Dame knew exactly the snap count, and maybe many of the Panthers didn't.
Well, Billy, I'm looking at the replay. 3 of the Panthers' offensive linemen never got out of their stance. So there was a miscommunication between John Turman in the center and the rest of the offense, because half of the offense never moved when the ball was snapped.
3rd down and 19. The Panthers from their 44. Quick kick. And there it goes in the air with nobody back. It hits inside the 15, the 10, and it's going to roll dead inside the 10 and be down at the 7-yard line. Great job by Lateef Grimm to get down there and fall on it. And for the 4th time this season, Walt Harris goes to the surprise quick kick.
Well, I think that what Coach Harris' philosophy is, he wants to play field position. Now, you're only 3rd and 14 or 3rd and 15, so some people think, well, why not just take the chance and throw the ball downfield and see what happens and then punt the ball on 4th down, because 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be a returnable kick, because the ball is either going to go into the end zone or you're going to pooch kick, and you're going to get the ball on the 10, 15, 20-yard line anyway. But Coach Harris has been known to play conservative early and play field position football, and he did just that, and it backed the Panthers, or it backed the Fighting Irish up.
Net 49 yards on the punt by John Turman. 2nd time he's done it this year. Did it against Penn State. Notre Dame from their 7 with 2 tights and 1 receiver outside. Option left. Pitching it back is Jackson. Trying to turn the corner is Julius Jones. He gets positive yardage up over the 15, and he's going to be forced out of bounds at the 15-yard line by redshirt freshman linebacker Brian Beinecke of Youngstown Liberty High School. His dad, Bill Beinecke, played for the Panthers back in the late 60s, early 70s. The gain is to the 14 at 7 yards. It's 2nd down and 3.
It's the only problem with defending that option. You have to have everybody in there running the same exact reads, gaining leverage inside out. That time the Panthers got reach blocked. They got pushed down, and Jarius Jackson was able to get out there on the flank before he pitched the football. A nice gain for the Fighting Irish on 1st down.
The JJ connection. Jarius Jackson to Julius Jones. This time it is a give to Julius Jones, and the freshman from Big Stone Gap, Virginia, is hit after a short gain of 2 yards up to the 16 by middle linebacker Ryan Gonzalez. And a Panther is down on the play. Kareem Thompson also involved in the tackle, and the training corps is out there. Head trainer Rob Black, and that is team surgeon Dr. Freddie Fu attending to weak side linebacker Kareem Thompson, one of the 19 seniors on this Panthers squad, saying goodbye to the Panther Stadium crowd. And, of course, everybody's saying goodbye to the stadium. And so it's a day of great emotion.
It really is, and you like to see the way this team is fired up here early on. Kareem Thompson, a senior, the only guy who hasn't missed a game in that linebacking corps. And speaking of injuries, Julian Graham, who I had a chance to sit down and talk with yesterday, a Philadelphia native, a good kid, a senior. He's been nursing a sore ankle, really hasn't practiced all week, but he was just out there on that last play. So he sucked it up here for his last home game at Pitt Stadium and for last game ever at Pitt Stadium.
Fine young man,
yep.
Julian Graham. Very expressive, and I've noticed in the TV interviews that we've done with him, he's hard to edit because he can be expansive.
Well, it's funny you say that, because a couple times I was like, Julian, I got to go. I don't have this much time in the locker room. So I was kidding him. I said, listen, call me when you come back into Philadelphia. We'll get a cheesesteak.
I like the sound of that. Kareem Thompson wobbly as he is assisted off the field. It looks like he had his bell rung. I hope it's not a shoulder problem. And now that's the end of the period, as both teams will change ends. With the score, University of Pittsburgh 7, Notre Dame 3 after the first quarter. You're listening to University of Pittsburgh football.
Diabetes. 1 minute your sugar is up, the next it's down. The key is to maintain a balance. UPMC Health System has the region's
young and old alike.
The Penguins win in overtime!
Duquesne Light is proud to team with the players, their coaches, and the fans who spur them on.
The Steelers are the Super Bowl champions.
More power to you from Duquesne Light.
Panthers leading the Fighting Irish 7-3 here as we start the second quarter. Scoreboard and locker room. Don't forget, Billy, after the ball game, you're going down there. For you people listening, be sure to stay tuned immediately following today's game for the scoreboard show and the Walt Harris postgame show.
That's if I get down there.
That's right. You may not get down here. Audio replays, scores, and interviews from the Panther locker room. That's the scoreboard show and the Walt Harris postgame show immediately following today's game on the Pittsburgh Panther Radio Network. And don't forget, there's a couple other things going on. After that, I'm going to be down at the Holiday Inn and we're going to be broadcasting from Foster's Bar and Grill with the call-in show, so get down there and take part in that. And Billy, again, supposedly there is a unbelievable show that's going to go on here at Pitt Stadium at the conclusion of today's ball game, and we're going to broadcast that live too from up here. So as you make your way down here, we're going to bring that live.
On the Panthers sideline, Kareem Thompson is undergoing the cognitive procedure. They're asking him what month it is and who he is and what his address is. But what an unbelievable year that Kareem has had. The fifth-year product of Roanoke, Virginia. 52 tackles coming in, including 36 stops. He had 2 sacks, 7 tackles for losses, 2 passes broken up, 3 quarterback hurries, and 2 forced fumbles. He plays a physical brand of football, and right there, I think, paid the price for a collision. Hopefully, he can return.
Let's hope now. That just sets up on that tackle that he had, or he was part of there. This sets up a 3rd and short situation. Why you quick kick is to gain field position, and right now the Panthers are looking at a 3rd and short situation. The Fighting Irish offense out there. Important for them to stop it, because if they stop the Fighting Irish, field position again swings to their side.
Power formation. It's a full house wishbone backfield. 3rd and a long one for the Irish from their 16. Jackson under center. Jarius Jackson. And he turns and gives to one of those 3 backs, and there's a crease, and there's a first down. Driving is Tony Fisher, angling left up over the 20 to the 23. He needed 1, got 7. Ramon Walker and Mark Ponko, the 2 Panther safeties, make the stop. Let's go to the sideline and Paul Fish.
Team physician Freddie Fu just informed me that Kareem Thompson just has a stinger, and they're going to evaluate him. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that update. 8-yard run there for Tony Fisher. And it was all power for the Notre Dame offense. And they get a first down out at the 24-yard line, trailing 7-3 early 2nd quarter. Jackson will operate out of the shotgun this time with a sidecar right, twin receivers wide right, and 2 to the boundary left. Here's the snap, and now this is going to be whistled down. The huddle clock expired. It's a delay of game for the Irish.
Yep. They went to a 4 wide receiver set. They tried to spread the Panthers out, but Jarius Jackson let the play clock run down.
Delay game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
So the delay puts the football back at the 19-yard line, where it's 1st and 15. Now Notre Dame with a couple of substitutions. They send 3 off and bring 3 on. And they go to a conventional set. 2 wideouts. They're both out to the right side. And the tight end is to the boundary. 1st and 15 from the Notre Dame 19 in a 7-3 ball game. Panthers have the lead. Jackson with a handoff and a stutter step, and nowhere to go for Tom Lipinski, the fullback. He gets maybe 2 yards. That's about all, because the Panthers had the running lanes clogged. Brandon Dewey, sophomore defensive tackle from West Allegheny High School, and Damon Gibson, senior defensive tackle from Penn Hills, combine on the stop at the 22. It's 2nd down, and we'll call it 12.
Well, you look at that offensive line by Notre Dame. They're always known to have big guys. This year, no different. 6'7", 295, 6'3", 308, 6'3", 300, 6'4", 297, and 6'6", 304. Some big hogs up front.
Shotgun for Jackson on 2nd and 12 from his 22. He's back with that direct snap, being chased. Now he's going to run. And he stutter steps and comes up to the 25, gets to the 28-yard line for about 6 yards, and he'll set up a 3rd down and 6. Jackson scampering to the wide side before running into Ryan Gonzalez, Panther middle linebacker.
Well, that's an option there you have on that Fighting Irish offense that really puts a stretch on your defense when you can have the quarterback sit back in there on the shotgun and not be afraid to run it up in there on the quarterback draw, because this sets up a much easier and a much more manageable 3rd down situation, which is only 3rd down and 6.
Shotgun for Jarius, 3rd and 6 from his 28. He's got 2 sidecars. Wide side is to the left. Jackson is back. Big heat. Pass is incomplete. 1 hand on it, that's all. And that's Bobby Brown, the senior wide receiver from Lauderhill, Florida. Gerald Hayes had the heat in the kitchen, and so did Damon Gibson.
And Jamark Ponko came as well on that strong safety blitz. Jarius Jackson felt the pressure from his backside, just could not get the football to a wide open Bobby Brown, and Notre Dame's punt team on the field again.
Joey Hildbold is back, awaiting the long snap of Dan O'Leary. The Panthers have punt return man. Is that Hank Poteet back there?
Yes, it is, Billy. And do not be surprised if you see the Panthers twist there in the middle to come after this kick.
Here's the snap. Hillgrove gets it out of there, and signaling for the fair catch is Hank Poteet under it at the Panther 33-yard line. So the Panthers will start with relatively good field position and a 4-point lead with 12:40 to go here in the second quarter. I'm Bill Hillgrove along with Bill Osborne. The final time at Pitt Stadium continues in a moment with the score. University of Pittsburgh 7, the Irish 3. You're listening to University of Pittsburgh football.
Today is the day of the big game. You're outside the stadium at a tailgate party. You've been hitting on this one babe now for about 20 minutes, and you think you're making good time. This chick is digging on you. Or is she?
Here, try a straw.
Man, you've been asking for it.
Hey, thanks.
With a playful grin, she watches you open it. The honestly fresh taste of straw beer, made with pure mountain spring water. No sugars, syrups, or preservatives added.
Hey, where the am I?
Hi, this is Mike Pinsack. A lot of dirty, sweaty Panther football players can wreak havoc in the showers after a game. But no one really worries because the showers are sprayed after each game with Austin's Wipe Away Shower Cleaner. And now you can use it at home. Just pick up a bottle of Austin's Wipe Away Daily Shower Spray at your favorite store. If it works for the Panthers, it will surely work for your home team. Austin's Wipe Away Daily Shower Spray. I use it, the Panthers use it, and you should too.
Well, the Panthers, with 12:40 left second quarter, lead this thing 7-3. And after the 38-yard punt by Joey Hillgrove, Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their 34-yard line. First quarter, Notre Dame had the edge in time possession, 8 minutes, 13 seconds to 6:47. Turman was 3 for 5, 1 intercepted, 1 touchdown pass for 48 yards. He also scampered 18 yards on 4 carries. But his long run of 23 was more than negated by the sack yardage, and so that's where we stand as the Panthers lead this contest 7-3, driving the football 70 yards in 6 plays and getting on the board first. A lot of memories in this facility, that is for sure, and maybe this will be one of them. Give to Kevin Barlow, and he drives with a crease up over the 35 to about the 38-yard line for 4 yards. Anthony Weaver, defensive lineman from Saratoga Springs, New York, at 6'3", 270. He makes the tackle, sophomore, on Kevin Barlow, the junior from Peabody High School.
It's good to see number 43 Barlow back in there. He's a house back there. He's a guy that has to have 20, 25 touches a ball game. Talking to Vincent White, he said he's hobbling around a little bit, but we still got to get him the football and get it to him early, and they've done that.
Second down, long 5 for the Panthers with a flanker left out of the eye. Peel back on the play action fake. Turman scrambling to his right. Throwing it on the run down the field. The pass will be caught on a tip at the 21-yard line. Tipped by the defender, Johnny Sanders, the strong safety, right into the hands of Lateef Grimm, who stayed with it beautifully. What concentration. A Panther injured on the play.
It looks like Lateef is down on the sideline, Billy, but John Turman being pressured, rolling to his right, saw Lateef Grimm, who was man-to-man coverage, and he had number 15 beat. And Billy, it looks like Lateef Grimm hyperextended his elbow when he got tackled on the sideline. He got slammed to the ground by number 15 Jefferson. But again, he was beat. He came back in, got in the vision of John Turman. And Billy, and that's why you do the tip drill. Johnny Sanders, the strong safety, was running back there, deflected the football, but Grimm kept his concentration and came up with the reception after the tip. And you practice that every single day, the tip drill. And Lateef Grimm showed why right there. But very important to see what's going on with Lateef on the sideline, because he has either separated his shoulder, hyperextended his shoulder, or broke his collarbone.
You can see the look of concern on the part of his teammates.
Yep.
He may have fallen on the football. No? You think it's a shoulder?
I think it's a shoulder. His left arm was up.
And that's the cheer.
Yep.
He appears to be all right. But Dr. Freddie Fu will walk Lateef, the junior from Stockton, California, to the bench, behind the bench, and take a closer look. Meantime, the gain is 30. Make that a 40-yard gain to the 21.
Let's hope it is the football, because if it's that, then that's a no-brainer. He'll be back in the ball game.
Motion by R.J. English, right to left. He's the only wideout. Play action fake. Back is Turman. Touch pattern end zone, incomplete. trying to lunge for that overthrown ball was the tight end, Kirk McMullen, running straight down the middle of the field. They call that the hash mark pattern as he tried to split the safeties of Johnny Sanders, and Deke Cooper just slightly overthrown on the touch pattern.
Well, Bill, Lateef Grimm just had a scare because he's going back in the ball game, so that's great to see. A tough kid there. He's not a big kid. Actually, he's a pretty small kid back there. They have him listed at 6 foot, Billy. He's 5'9", maybe, and 185. He's 185 if he's got two 10-pound dumbbells in each pocket as he gets on the scale. But he's got a heart that matches anybody's out there.
And a great presence.
Yes.
When you interview him, he has that little light-up twinkle in his eye, and he's got, like I say, presence. Back is Turman on 2nd and long. Tries to duck the rush and throws it. It is into and out of the hands of the intended receiver at the 19-yard line. Coming back is Nick Goings, but there was all kind of heat in the kitchen supplied by Notre Dame. Defensively charging in there was Andy Wisney, a junior defensive tackle from Tulsa, who was putting the heat on Turman. And now the Panthers have a 3rd and 10.
Well, that was a nice heads-up play by John Turman. He recognized that nobody was open in the secondary. Nick Goins was covered up. He threw it at his feet and did not take up the big sack or take his team out of field goal range. A heads-up play by the quarterback, Turman.
Now the Panthers overload the boundary right with 2 receivers. 3rd and 10 at the 21. Turman's back against a 5-man rush. Throws the pass. It is caught inside the 15 at the 11-yard line. I think they've got a first down to Julius Dixon. It's the senior from Oceanside, California. The chains will be a-moving.
Well, let's check it. This is going to be very, very close, but it looks like from this vantage point that it's a first down. Let's wait to hear Don Ireland say first down Panthers. That's what we want to hear.
As he bids farewell to Pitt Stadium and to the Panther crowd. He's moving to Colorado. Let's wait and see if he's there.
The gain is to just outside the 10. First down, Panthers.
There we go. A nice job of Julius Dixon running the middle read on the switch pattern and picking up just enough for the first down.
Turman looking right. Now over the middle. The pass is tipped in the air and incomplete at the goal line. On a quick slant, the receiver, I do believe, was the tight end, Kirk McMullen. Turman complaining to the official he got roughed around after he threw the ball. It was off the fingertips of Tyreo Harrison, the middle linebacker, incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10. A first down can be registered inside the 1.
Yep, and I'm not real certain right now why the Panthers are going to the pass play deep in their own red zone. Talking to the coaches, they wanted to run the football. Obviously, Notre Dame has the big people in there, and they must be putting 8 men in the box because the Panthers slinging the ball down deep in their own territory.
2nd down 10 at the 10, just outside. Turman under center. The give is to Barlow. He scampers to the left and is hit and crawls down to about the 7, maybe the 6. Kevin Barlow couldn't get his ankles loose because of Tyreo Harrison, the middle backer, who's in there in place of Ronnie Nix, the starter.
And Kevin Barlow's a guy that gets better the more reps you give him. A nice job that time of the backside tackle, the backside guard, Brian Anderson, pulling from the backside, giving him enough crease in there as he does the kick-out block, and of course his fullback Fiola leading him up in there.
Intentional run to the left to give you wide side right to the thrower's side. Let's see what happens on 3rd and 7 outside the 7.
You're always thinking.
Motion to the right. Turman looking right. Now he goes back to the left. Touch pattern. Incomplete in the end zone. Trying to leap forward, Antonio Bryant. Clifford Jefferson had pretty good coverage, and Bryant had to twist his body at the last moment, and he really couldn't get to the football.
Yeah, they were trying to single him up out there with that corner again, number 15, Jefferson, the same one that he beat earlier in the ball game. But Jefferson did a terrific job. Bryant just could not shake free. A slow developing play, and Turman threw a pass that was not catchable. The Panther field goal unit on the field.
Nick Lotz trying the field goal from 24 yards. Lotz, the sophomore from Findlay, Ohio, with Stein holding and McMullen snapping. Angle left to right. High snap, but it's down. The kick is on its way. That kick by Lotz is up and good. Nick Lotz from 24 yards gets the Panthers back to a 7-point lead.
Well, nice drive by the Panthers. Nice job by John Turman directing the offense. They come away with points. Obviously, you like to get 6 down there, but the Panthers will take the field goal, and they go up 10-3 over the Fighting Irish.
With the score 10-3, 10:18 to go 2nd quarter, and don't miss the halftime show. Whatever you do, you're listening to University of Pittsburgh football.
Trouble doesn't wear a watch, and accidents don't keep business hours. That's why we offer State Farm's 24-hour Good Neighbor service. So you can call participating agents' offices anytime, day or night, to file a claim, ask a question, and get the help you need.
State Farm's Good Neighbor service. This is Gina. How may I help you?
Sure, it's a service many of our policyholders may never need, but it's also one most of them wouldn't want to be without.
Good news for red meat lovers. Consumers' attitudes are changing. They now know that beef is loaded with zinc, iron, and protein and fits into a heart-healthy diet. Beef plays an important role in athletic performance, as well as in the daily nutrition of everyday people. Make beef part of your game plan. This message brought to you by Nebraska's beef producers and their checkoff. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Tonight.
Nick Lotz with his 11th field goal of the season. His 11th out of 15 tries. The 24-yarder makes it 10-3. Panther fans say thanks to State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And to the Pittsburgh Tribune Review. For a better read on local, pro, college, and high school sports, turn to the Tribune Review. Subscribe now to get the Weekend Plus package, Thursday through Sunday, delivered to your home for 1 full year, now only $9.99. Call 1-800-909-TRIB today.
Really, some early stats. John Turman, 5 of 11 for 108 yards. Bryant, 2 catches for 23 yards. Grimm, 2 catches for 65 yards. So Panther offense starting to come on track here a little bit, starting to get the ball moving. But you want to see them run the football effectively to take the pressure off of the quarterback, Turman.
Panthers had 48 net rushing yards in the first quarter, but 23 of those on one run on a scramble by John Turman, who makes my partner Bill Osborne shudder when he dives head first.
Yes, please. We need you in the ball game. We don't have many warm bodies back there. Quarterback, be smart back there. And Billy, we talked about all the pregame ceremony that's going on here. Armand Delavay, a big Golden Panther, had 300 chickens and 2 pigs up there roasting before the ball game. The place was packed. And there was a group up there that actually slept overnight that donate or kind of dedicate themselves to the last game ever at Pitt Stadium. And they are Jason Lostacki, Dave Kine, Steve Buckman, Kirk Dominic, Bob Adelman, and Rob Greenleaf. These guys rented a camper, Billy, spent the whole night up there watching old Pitt flicks, watching old movies, and said they were going to really soak in this last game at Pitt Stadium. So all kind of people soaking in this last game ever at Pitt Stadium.
On a trailer bed up there, there's a replica of Pitt Stadium. They're going to take a sledgehammer to it after the game.
I saw it. I put my name up there on it, so I'm anxious to see that go down after the game.
Here's Lotz with a kickoff, angles it for the far sideline, and it goes out of bounds. And that's not what special teams is all about. And I know Nick Lotz feels bad about it, but Notre Dame will have excellent field position, 1st and 10 from their 35-yard line, because Nick Lotz just kicked the ball out of bounds.
Well, I talked to...
Kicking the ball out of bounds on the kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
That's the first time I think I've ever heard an official say, I'm sorry, on the field. He said illegal kick. He meant to say the ball was kicked out of bounds. And talking to Coach William before the game, the special teams coach, he said, Billy, we have got to win this part of it. So I know he is not happy with that ball being kicked out of bounds after the Panthers score on the kickoff.
Notre Dame with a wing back left to the wide side, receivers to both sides. Jackson with a handoff to the fullback, and a dive play to Lipinski is going to work for a couple of yards, maybe 3 up to the 38, as he is knocked off his feet by a low tackle by a crashing Ken Cashabera with backside help from middle backer Ryan Gonzalez. 3-yard gain, 2nd down 7. Notre Dame came in 5-4, had won 4 in a row until their date last week at Tennessee. Tennessee could be the best team in college football this year. 2nd down 7 for Notre Dame. Jackson, a check with me under center. Offset backfield to the left, and now they go with an option. Now he's keeping it. He's hit, and down he goes. What a great job of flying to the football by who else? Redshirt freshman free safety Ramon Walker. What a job he's done this year.
Billy, he's unbelievable. And we're trying to come up with nicknames. I had somebody last week say he could be Ramon because he makes people moan when he hits them. And somebody else said maybe the Hitman. I like the Hitman. Ramon, the Hitman Walker, because 4 or 5 times a game he comes up with a big open field tackle and not only gets them to the ground, but he makes them pay the price.
He's had double-digit tackles 8 of 9 games. What a job by the freshman from Akron. 3rd down and 6 at the 39-yard line. Jackson in the shotgun. He's back. He looks. He fires down the field. The pass picked off. Ramon Walker at the 35 had 2 hands on it. He was ready to run, and he dropped the football.
The Panthers played man-to-man coverage underneath. They flipped it around with the wide receivers, and they had the safeties over top playing man-free. Ramon Walker, the free safety, read the quarterback's eyes, playing center field, reacted to the football, broke on it, and that ball hit him right in the hands. A certain INT. Ramon's got to have that one, but nonetheless, the Panthers get the ball back.
Hillgrove, and he just gets rid of it. Tim Stein is back. Nope, it is Poteet back at the 8. 15, 20, 25, 30, and down he goes at the 30-yard line. Hank Poteet was back there, and he took that punt, and even though some white shirts were very close to him, he took off running with that football. That's about, what, about an 18-yard punt return? We'd like to remind our board operators and our stations along the Panther Network that for halftime we will cluster one half of our breaks right at the end of the first half, as Notre Dame has a player shaken up. The other half of those breaks will occur before the start of the third quarter, and this is, of course, by design so that we may be able to bring you the halftime extravaganza. And Steve Peterson has said that this is the biggest and best halftime show in the history of the city, and we're going to bring it to you on the network in its entirety. We'd like to alert the board ops that that will be the format.
And, Billy, you're going to be up here running the PA, kind of being the MC of the halftime show. I'm going to get a wireless mic. I'm actually going to go down on the field, partake in it. They're going to be bringing in decades at a time. Panthers all the way from the 90s back to the 20s. I'm going to be part of the 80s, obviously, leading the 80s decade on there. And we're going to be handing a football to Marshall Goldberg, signifying the end of the stadium, the end of each decade. So it's going to be something special. I hope to get some interviews as I'm down there on the field. But it's going to be an emotional time for me coming out of the tunnel for the last time.
I can just bet that. First game played here was September 26, 1925. The Panthers defeated Washington and Lee 26-0. The largest crowd, 68,918, when the Panthers took on Fordham October 29, 1938, and the Panthers won that game 24-13. Pitt's longest winning streak at the stadium, 20 games, back in the years 1978 to 1981.
And we talked about some of the other stats. The Panthers have won 5 national championships since they played here. There's also been 55 Pitt All-Americans that have partaked in football games here at Pitt Stadium on this fine football field. So a lot of tradition, and we'll continue to bring it to you as this game unfolds.
From the 30, after the 18-yard punt return, the Panthers go slot left. The slot man, Lateef Grimm, in motion right. And the give is to the tailback. And darting through the hole is Nick Goings. And Goings gets 5 yards as he slithers through off left guard. Good blocking, Jeff McCurley and Kai Downey. Tyree Harrison, the middle backer, made the stop. Second down, 5.
Well, that's what you like to see again from that offensive line, especially on first down. So important to get movement in the running game early in the series. They did just that. The Panthers want to establish the running game, and they're starting to do that as this game unfolds.
Clock winds to 8:08, second quarter. Panthers lead 10-3 with a 2nd and 5. I formation for Turman. Notre Dame went offside. The Panthers snapped the ball. Alert play, Jeff McCurley and quarterback John Turman.
And that's a play that's designed in the huddle. Coach, the quarterback gets in there. Turman says, listen, I'm going to buck. Because, Billy, a lot of times what you do, you get in there and you're going to say it's going to be on number 1. So you go in there, red 33, hut, and you snap the football. But when you're trying to draw guys off, Bill, you go in the huddle and you say, listen, I'm going to make the snap count on 2.
Offside by contact on the defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
And, Billy, what you do is you stagger the count. In other words, if it's going to be on 2, you say, hut, that's fine. But if you want to try and draw the team off, you sit in there and you tell your offensive line and your guys, listen, I'm going to try and draw them up. So you go in there and you go, red 33, hut, and you scream loud to signify they're snapping the football, and that's what happened there, and the ball picked up the first down by the Panthers.
1st and 10, Nick Goings hit hard in the hole. He tried to spin, but there were too many white shirts, and they stuffed the play. Antoine Jones, the man who just came offsides a moment ago, the senior from Piqua, Ohio, helps to make the stop. Brad Williams in on the play as well. Call it a gain of a half yard at 2nd down and almost 10.
And, Billy, the moral of that story is it's a cheap way to pick up a first down, but an effective way.
Tell the truth, as always.
Exactly right. Whatever it takes.
Midway through the second quarter, Panthers lead at 10-3. 2nd and 10 from their 40. Notre Dame shows blitz. Turman under center. Back split wide.
Here they come.
And here's the blitz. Turman back. Steps up. Now he's got, we got a marker down thrown by the umpire, and that's always bad news. Turman is belted as he gets to the 50-yard line. But behind the play, when you see the umpire throw the flag, that's always bad news for the offense. Cooper made the stop, but it looks like Kai Downey may have been detected grabbing the shirt of the defensive player.
Well, Notre Dame ran a twist down here. When they ran the twist, the Panthers had trouble picking it up. So the offensive line are taught to protect the quarterback in any way you can.
Holding.
And they got caught.
On the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Ooh.
Remains second down.
That makes it a 16-yard penalty.
Ooh. And Billy, please tell John Turman in the post-game show that your partner, I'm not trying to tell him to duck away from contact, but if you're taking on a safety or corner, that's one thing. But when you're in there going after linebackers, don't lower your head. Just get down. That extra half a yard is not that important. Tell him, please. He'll learn. He'll learn tomorrow when he's in the hot tub.
Do I have your permission to return any message that Mr. Turman may have for you?
Yeah, absolutely, and I can only imagine what that might be.
However indiscreet. 2nd and 26. Motion out of the backfield by the Panthers. 4-man rush. Turman is back. Pocket collapses. He scrambles forward, throws it on the run. It'll be incomplete at the 50-yard line in the general direction of Lateef Grimm, but I think Turman just dumped it to an open space, and that will set up a 3rd and 26.
Well, the Panthers had bad spacing there that time by Lateef Grimm and Antonio Bryant out there. Somebody either went too long in their route or too short in their route. Too many guys together in one area. The Panthers are fortunate that that ball wasn't picked off, because as a quarterback, you're taught if you have pressure, do not throw the ball down the middle of the field, because that's when it's most likely to get intercepted. He floated one up there. It fell incomplete, fortunately for the Panthers.
6:49 to go, second quarter. Panthers with a 3rd and 26 from the 24. Turman under center. 4-man rush. He steps up, fires the ball down the field, and it's wide of the mark at the 42-yard line. It got by Antonio Bryant, and it looked like he and the quarterback weren't on the same page that time, and the ball just whistled incomplete. Punt team is on.
Well, he was running the in route, and Lateef Grimm was on the other side of the field running the clear route. Lateef looked like he had to step on his safety, but Thurman already had Bryant on the in route. The ball was thrown behind him, and the Panthers are forced to punt.
Julius Jones, freshman from Big Stone Gap, Virginia, is the return man, averaging 9.8 yards per punt return for the Irish. Parker snap to DeBolt, and he has time to get a tail down punt, and it's going to hit at the Notre Dame 40 and take a Notre Dame bounce out to the 43 and go out of bounds in Irish territory at that point. So Notre Dame now trailing by 7 has good field position to start a drive at 6:35 left of the second quarter.
And that's why it's a team ball game. You need your offense to move it out there. John Turman doing a nice job early in the ball game, but we just got a stat passed on to us. In his last 7 passes, he's 1 for 6. So not doing a job here. Notre Dame has buttoned down a little bit defensively, and John Turman not doing the job that he did early in the ball game. Consequently, the Panthers' offense going backwards.
Notre Dame from the Irish 43. Panthers show blitz. Jackson out of an eye, play action fake. No, he hands it off, and with the football is tailback Tony Fisher, and the sophomore is dragged down after an advance of about 1 yard by Mark Ponko, the sophomore strong safety from Franklin Regional.
I'll tell you what, you got to give Larry Coyer, the defensive coordinator for the Panthers, a ton of credit this year. He's doing it without guys up front. You like to run those 7, 8 guys in there. At times, he's only had 3 or 4 down linemen healthy. He's putting them in right positions to be effective, taking a lot of chances, but doing a terrific job here through this season, getting his defense ready.
Jarius Jackson, play action fake, looking left, fires a pass. It's caught, first down for the Irish inside Panther territory at the 44-yard line. It was a pass complete to Bobby Brown, the first such completion of Jackson to Brown, and Gerald Hayes made the tackle, but the Irish moved the sticks.
Well, that was just a little check down pass play. Bobby Brown went out there and ran about a 10-yard stop, just enough to pick up the first down. The Panthers again going away from their philosophy of blitzing the quarterback, only went to a 3-man rush, but the Panthers weren't able to get in the vision of that pass play, and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish pick up a first down.
12-yard gain to the Panther 44. Dan O'Leary, the tight end, redeploys to the right side. There are 2 receivers out that way. And Jackson hands it off, and with the football, trying to duck around and do a little shake and bake is Julius Jones, and the freshman is met after about a 3.5-yard advance close to the 40-yard line, where Mark Ponko and Damon Gibson drive him back.
When you have that big of an offensive line like the Fighting Irish have going up against the Panthers, which they have 250, 300, 250, and 225, you give up a lot of size up front. So as a defensive front, you have to kind of get in angles, Billy, run some twists, run some stunts, but as the ball snaps, you don't want to sit there and absorb the contact because you go backwards. You have to play your gap, and the Panthers are doing that here this afternoon.
Ball shy of the 40, it's second down and almost 7. Notre Dame in Panther territory with twins left to the wide side. Jackson under center, option left. Now they counter pitch it. With the football coming the other way is Joey Getherall. He stops, and he's knocked off his feet at the 40-yard line by Ramon Walker. What an open field tackle on the gadget play.
what they did is they set up the option to the wide side of the field, and that was set up perfectly, but in the same time, they brought Joey Getherall back on the reverse, and this is they was getting ready to pitch it to the tailback. Getherall picked it off in stride and was coming back to the short side of the field, to the Fighting Irish side, but Ramon Walker, from his strong safety spot, recognized, or the free safety spot, recognized the reverse all the way, because if he was blocked, Billy, that may have went for 6. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish had it set up perfectly.
Panthers go nickel. Jackson in the shotgun. 3rd and a long 6 from the Panther 40. Clock at 4:08 and turning. Panthers show blitz. Here's the snap. Jackson back. Jackson looks. Timing pattern left sideline, and it is caught at the Panther 15-yard line for a complete pass. With the football, Bobby Brown in front of Rob Butler, the nickelback.
Well, the Fighting Irish had luck on their side on that play because Jarius Jackson just chucked the ball up there. Bobby Brown was covered perfectly by Rob Butler, but time and time again, as we said over and over, the defensive backs have got to look back and find the football because Rob Butler, the freshman, was in perfect position. He just did not make the play, and Bobby Brown came up with the catch, got his feet in bounds, and it keeps the Fighting Irish drive alive.
26-yard pass play. Jackson to Brown. Ball at the 14 of the Panthers, where the Irish have a 1st and 10. Twins to the wide side right, option right. Jackson pitches it back. Tony Fisher, he's hit. Gets by one man, but he's going to lose yardage on the play to the 16-yard line as Mark Ponko flowed to the ball. And how about those blue shirts controlling all the gaps?
I can still remember Alex Kramer in the heyday saying, swarming blue defense, swarming blue defense. Well, they're swarming this afternoon. And again, Ramon Walker comes up, makes the quarterback pitch the football. And as you said, Billy, Ponko and others swarming to the tailback to take him down for a 2-yard loss.
Julius Jones lost a couple, 2nd and 12 at the 16. Now Jackson steps under center with his backs tight and split behind him. Flanker to the wide side left. Here's the blitz. Jackson back, pumps, fires the passes into and out of the hands of the receiver at the 7-yard line. Trying to pull it down was Bobby Brown. It slipped through his hands just as he was hit by cornerback Demetrius Rich.
Well, Bobby Brown, the senior, down to the short side of the field again, running a little stop route. As he was coming out of his route, he lost his balance, and he was falling down as the ball was coming there. Again, that's a catchable ball. Jarius Jackson threw a strike. Bobby Brown falling down, just dropped the football, and it sets up again a 3rd and long situation.
Panthers lead at 10-3, 3:13 left of quarter number 2. Notre Dame with 2 timeouts left has a 3rd and 12 at the Panthers 16-yard line. Jackson goes shotgun. 2 sidecars, twins to the left, wide side, of receiver to the boundary. And the Panthers call a timeout just before the snap. So the Panthers call their first timeout, and they'll have 2 remaining. As I don't know if they didn't have the package on that they didn't want, but Brian Beinecke, the weak side linebacker, just said, hey, we don't like this. Call time.
Well, a lot of times that's decided by either formation or personnel. Whatever it was, Coach McGovern on the sideline getting the cue from Coach Coyer up in the press box was screaming on the sideline to get a timeout, and they did just get the timeout before that play was snapped.
Panther fans say thanks to Duquesne Light, more power to you, and to State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Well, we hate to kind of bust the coverage here a little bit and switch gears, but the football season is winding down, but it's far from over. But that means one thing here on campus. That means basketball season is starting, and it's upon us, and tickets are now on sale for the University of Pittsburgh's 1999-2000 campaign. Come see the New Look Panthers in their inaugural season under head coach Ben Howland. With 17 home games this year, season ticket packages start as low as $228, or purchase single game tickets for $15 each. Women's basketball tickets are available as well. Contact the Pittsburgh ticket office at 412-648-PITT or dial toll-free 800-643-PITT. And I know you and your partner Dick Grote are getting fired up for that season as well.
Well, the Panthers are picked to finish by the coaches next to last in the conference, but I think it's going to be an interesting season. I know that the play of Ricardo Greer, the junior, has just absolutely been tremendous in the preseason. He had 22 and 11 the other night. He plays way bigger than his listed 6'5", has great sense of rebounding. And until Isaac Hawkins gets back with a stress fracture, and Kelly Taylor is eligible because of the academic thing, and that will be sometime in December, they're going to have to hold the fort, but it should be interesting. By the way, they defeated the California All-Stars in an exhibition game Thursday night by 6, the same team that had defeated Syracuse by 3. But they were playing
sign.
their 4th game in 5 days,
Right.
so they could have been tired. But still, when you win, even if it doesn't mean anything, it's a good sign. 3rd down, 12, the Irish at the Panthers' 16. Jarius Jackson in the shotgun. He's got 2 sidecars. Here's the blitz. He's back, fires a pass. It's caught. First down inside the 10, inside the 5, fighting, and down at the 3-yard line is Bobby Brown. The Panthers had him bulldogged. He was trying to break free, but Notre Dame has a 1st and goal inside the 5 at about the 2-yard line.
Well, a nice job by Jarius Jackson stepping up in the pocket. The Panthers rolled the dice that time. He found Brown coming across the middle. He beat Demetrius Rich, number 8. Again, in man-to-man coverage, you cannot get beat to the inside because you do not have help. But Bobby Brown, fearless, coming across the middle. Jackson with the strike. Brown catches the football, picks up the 1st down, and gets inside the 2-yard line, almost down inside the 1.
Now they go full house wishbone look, and they motion a wing back to the left side out of that. 1st and goal at the Panther 1. Jackson sends that wing back in motion, gives to the right side. The Panthers stack up David Givens, and Givens is going to be knocked back for no gain. Givens, with his 5th rush of the year, is stopped by the Panther blue wall.
Man, oh man, was there a collision at the point of impact at the goal line. You said it, Billy. Givens left his feet, and the Panthers on the left side, about 7 or 8 guys piled him up and drove. Second, they gave him about 6 inches on that carry.
2nd and goal from inside the 1.
And watch the quarterback sneak by Jarius Jackson. He better get down here and get set.
The Panthers are set. He does check with me, and he puts the wing back out of the backfield up left. And the turn and the give. Markers down everywhere, and diving for the goal line is Fisher, but there is no signal because apparently there is no play.
There has to be movement. That's what that looks like. That signifies movement on the offensive wall by the Fighting Irish. We'll see.
Referee is Steve Newman of the Big Ten.
Prior to the snap, ball start on the offense.
That's it.
5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Well, he didn't get in on that play either, so that pushes the Panthers back. The only problem is, as you get down here on the goal line, that option becomes such a weapon because you can spread the defense out. You have to respect that quarterback, and anytime you have a quarterback with the movement and the ability to get to the outside, like you do with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish quarterback, Jarius Jackson, you always got to be concerned about the option down here. And Billy, the Panthers personnel screwed up again. Hank Poteet running to the back judge to call a timeout.
Hank Poteet, late arriving on the field, realized that the Panthers had a numbers problem, and so he wisely just went up to the official and said, let's have a timeout here. He went right up to referee Steve Newman and said, we need to take our 2nd timeout. So the Panthers stopped the clock with 1:37 to go in the 2nd quarter. Panthers lead this contest 10-3.
And again, a 2nd and long situation now set up by the Panthers. The problem with burning those timeouts, obviously, if they can stop them here for a field goal try, then that's a win for the defense and for the team. But on the flip side to that, if they do score, the Panthers get the ball back with only 1 timeout in their back pocket. So we'll see what happens here as this last minute and a half unfolds. The Panthers playing valiantly here, Bill, here this afternoon, and doing a good job, especially on defense.
Did I see Arkansas upset Tennessee today? Did I see that score on the scoreboard? 28-24?
You did.
That's
that
unbelievable.
Is a final. Arkansas, after Tennessee beats Notre Dame last week, Arkansas upsets Notre Dame, or the Tennessee Volunteers, 28-24. So we got a couple big upsets.
Well, and that places a great deal of importance. It might be the game of the year between Miami and Virginia Tech.
Tonight, exactly right. 7:30 kickoff, and some other scores and some other upsets. Rutgers beats Syracuse in overtime for their first win of the year, 24-21. Also, Penn State, as we talked about many times, they get beat by Michigan at home, 31-27. Ohio State gets blown out by Illinois, 46-20. And again, that upset that you just reported, Arkansas over Tennessee, 28-24.
A minute 37 to go, 2nd quarter. The Irish down 10-3, have a 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line of the Panthers. Jackson, play action fake. He's up. He's firing for the end zone, and it is a touchdown, Notre Dame. Running under that timing pattern beautifully was Joey Getherall. He gathers in his 3rd touchdown reception of the year, and he beat Ramon Walker on the play.
Well, that's what happens when you have to worry about the option, because you have to get everybody at the line of scrimmage running their run reads. And what happens, you get mismatches in the secondary. They were in man-to-man coverage. Gethero was in the slot. All he does is go right at Ramon Walker and then breaks it to the corner. A great touch pass by Jackson. Ramon Walker was beat on the flag pattern, and the corner of the end zone, Notre Dame on the board again.
Jim Sanson will try to tie the game. The holder is Caputo, the snapper O'Leary, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. And Notre Dame driving the football 57 yards and consuming a whole lot of time at the end of the second quarter, has tied this contest at 10-10 as we head toward halftime. And again, we'd like to alert our board ops and our stations along the Panther Network that for halftime, a very special redesign of the format today. We will cluster one half of our halftime breaks right at the end of the second quarter. The other half will occur before the start of the third quarter, so that we may bring you in its entirety this halftime extravaganza featuring some 300 former Panther players on the field for a very special time.
And again, we talked about this place is packed. Panthers doing a nice job here in the first half. Had many opportunities actually to break this game wide open, but give the Fighting Irish credit. They're used to being behind. They've had a lot of ball games this year against some very good football teams that they've fought and fought. So the Panthers trying to execute the knockout blow like Holyfield and Lennox Lewis are going to try tonight to do in that heavyweight matchup. But the Fighting Irish bouncing back, and they tie the ball game up with about 1:32 to go here. And Billy, probably after this kickoff, I'm going to make my way down to the field for the halftime show.
Should be fun. I thought I was going to be down there, but they say that my part can be done from up here in the booth. So I'll be with you in spirit.
Okay, buddy.
Mr. Osborne. Here is Jim Sanson on the kickoff. It's a squib, and it's going to hit a couple of times and be fielded at the 19-yard line by R.J. English. He's up to the 25, the 30, and he's down at the 34-yard line. The Panthers with 1:27 remaining till halftime and one timeout left. Will start from there. 34-yard line in a 10-10 game.
Remember, the Fighting Irish have 2 timeouts as well. They're not going to let the Panthers just sit there and down the football. I would suspect if they try and down the football, run the ball up in there, Notre Dame will probably call a timeout.
Ball spotted at the 34-yard line, so the Panthers will start 1st and 10 at that point, with John Turman subbing for the injured David Priestley. Hurt himself in the Miami game when he landed with his elbow first, and it hurt his shoulder, tore a ligament. And the give is to Nick Goings. He slithers through a hole, 45, and up to the 48-yard line. A Panther first down near midfield. That changes the strategy.
You're not kidding. Now the Panthers are in their 2-minute drill. If he gets stopped, they're not going to go 2 minutes. Now they're in the 2-minute drill. They get a first down in college football. The clock stops when you get a first down. That's what happened there, and it looks like Notre Dame now is going to burn a timeout.
So the Panthers rip off a 14-yard gain to Nick Goings, and Notre Dame calls its second timeout. They each have one left.
That's right. Now, if you're the Panthers, Billy, you got plenty of time. 1:22 to go here and a half. You have your 2-minute drill. What happens now? You have one timeout. You want to work the sidelines. You want to tell your people in the huddle, listen, we want to run 2 plays. So a lot of times what they'll do is they'll call 2 plays in the huddle in case the first one is not an incomplete pass or a pass out of bounds, so they can get right up to the line of scrimmage and run the next play.
Notre Dame marching it after the kickoff goes out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Notre Dame marching at 57 yards in 10 plays. Did I say kickoff? I meant punt. The punt was out of bounds by the Panthers' Greg DeBolt. Punt of only 33 yards went out at the 43, and then Notre Dame converted 2 third downs in that drive. On a 3rd and 6, they got a 26-yard pass play to Bobby Brown, and on a 3rd and 12, they got a 15-yarder to Brown, the key man both times, and then on 2nd and goal from the 5, timing pattern left corner to Joey Getherall, his 3rd reception of the year, and the 13th touchdown pass thrown by Jarius Jackson ties the game at 10, and that's where we are right now. But the Panthers down in midfield, and maybe they'll try to get points before halftime.
Well, you don't want a turnover here, obviously, but you still have plenty of time to get points here. You got the crowd behind you. Nothing to lose here.
Panthers from their 48. Receivers to both sides. Back split wide. Turman to throw it against a 4-man rush. He's back. He fires the ball down the field. It's picked off at the 43-yard line. A diving grab by Anthony Denman, and that is his first interception of the year. The pass intended for Nick Goings, and now we're going the other way.
That's exactly like I said. You don't want a turnover there. He tried to hit Nick Goings coming out of the backfield, but he was picked up by the linebacker. Just read the quarterback's eye. Instead of dumping it down to his tight end over the middle, he tried to force a play in there. And Anthony Denman gets the Fighting Irish offense back on the field. Plenty of time for them. 1:16. They get the ball at the 44-yard line. And Billy, I'm going to head down there. I'll talk to you from the field.
Okay, partner. Notre Dame from its 44. Jackson will go from the shotgun with 2 sidecars and 2 receivers wide left. And a receiver to the boundary right. Jarius Jackson from his 44 takes the snap. He's back. Has plenty of time. Dumps a pass over the middle. The pass is caught. Short gain up to the 48-yard line by Bobby Brown. He is hit hard by a blue shirt, and that shirt belongs to senior strong safety Seth Hornack of Burrell High School. And the clock winds to 1 minute remaining. Second down, we'll call it 6. From the 48-yard line, a 4-yard gain on the pass play. Jackson again with a shotgun. Panthers show blitz. They do not. Jackson back. He looks. He fires. The pass is caught. First down at the 40-yard line of the Panthers. Giving ground to the 41 is receiver Bobby Brown. He's tackled on the field of play. The clock will stop for the first down to be moved. 41 seconds left. Demetrius Rich made the tackle at the Panther 41. 11-yard gain on the pass play. Jackson to Bobby Brown, who's got some big balls in this game so far. Now Jackson again from the shotgun from the Panther 41, trying to get in field goal range. Clock winds to 36 seconds. He's got 1 timeout remaining. He's back. He's going to be hit. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 45-yard line, climbing up his back to make the play is Brian Knight. And has Brian Knight come on, the sophomore defensive end from Buffalo at 6'2", 225. The clock is stopped with 26 seconds left. Notre Dame here in the second quarter calls its second timeout in a tie game at 10-10. Its third and final timeout in a tie game at 10-10. Panthers drew first blood as they marched the football and got on the scoreboard. Panthers marched it 70 yards in 6 plays. Turman to Bryant from 9 yards out to make it 7-0. Notre Dame kicked the field goal, the 36-yarder by Jim Sanson. Made it 7-3, and that's where we went into the second quarter. But Nick Lotz on a Panther possession kicked a 24-yard chip shot to make his record on the season 11 for 15. That made it 10-3. And then after a Panther punt went out of bounds, Notre Dame started with great field position and capitalized by marching 57 yards in 10 plays, converting 2 third-down opportunities. And then on a second and goal at the 5, Jarius Jackson hit Joey Getherall from 5 yards out with a timing pattern left corner. And the game is tied at 10-10, and that's where we stand with 26 seconds to go till the big halftime show. As we say goodbye to this great facility that has served this program for so many glorious years. Panthers' first night game was August 31st, 1985. You remember that one. The Panthers nipped Purdue 31-30. Jim Everett misfiring on the final play of the game to allow the Panthers to preserve their victory. First game on artificial surface happened September 19th, 1970. UCLA came in and defeated the Panthers 24-15. Tommy Harmon's son, Mark Harmon, was the quarterback for that UCLA squad. And, of course, dedication game happened in 1925 as the Panthers defeated Carnegie Tech 12-0. First and 10. Second and 14, I apologize. From the 45-yard line of the Panthers, shotgun for Jackson. He's back. He has time. Pocket collapses. He dumps it incomplete. On the skip, it was fielded by a Panther defender, but Brian Knight had the heat in the Jarius Jackson kitchen, and Jackson just threw the ball that skipped in front of a Panther defender. Hank Poteet took it in stride and started running forward, but obviously it was just an incompletion. Third down and 14. The clock stopped with that incompletion at 22 seconds till halftime. Again, like to thank the good work by our Panther Network crew. On behalf of our color analyst Bill Osborne and our sideline reporter Paul Pish, our spotters Don DeBlasio and Bill Hillgrove Jr., our producer Marty Caridi, our engineer Mel Check. Pleasure to bring this final one to you. Notre Dame, 3rd and 14 from the 45. Jackson back. Jackson fires down the field. It is caught. And what are they going to call? A completed pass at the 27-yard line by Bobby Brown on the comeback. 15 seconds. They're going to move the chains. Now Notre Dame may be in field goal range. They have no timeouts remaining. So they may spike the ball here and then just bring the field goal unit on. Now they have a discussion as to whether it's complete. What are they going to rule? Referee Steve Newman joins the confab and now makes it 4 officials. Now they have another huddle up with 3 officials. And they're discussing whether or not they thought that that was a completed pass. Panther defenders obviously signaling no, but the Notre Dame players thinking it was indeed a reception by Bobby Brown at the 28-yard line of the Panthers. That would make it a first down. They're going to call it a completion after a long huddle up at the 28. First and 10 for the Irish. And they're going to spike the football to stop the clock, and that'll get the field goal unit on. Line of scrimmage is at 28, so this will be about a 45 to 46-yard field goal attempt for the Fighting Irish. In this range, Jim Sanson on the year is 0 for 1. Overall, he was 4 for 8, including a field goal earlier in this football game. Sanson will be trying about a 45-yard. Well, no, they're not going to try a field goal. They're going to. What are they going to do? They're going to try to put the ball in the end zone. 12 seconds left. Shotgun. Back is Jackson. Timing pattern for the end zone. There's a pileup in the end zone. He throws it out of the end zone, out of bounds to the near sideline, and a late flag flies. Now they have another huddle up with 6 seconds left on the second quarter clock. Are they going to pick the flag up and say that the ball was uncatchable because it was out of bounds? I hope so. The ball was out of bounds to the left sideline in the end zone. There was contact in the end zone, but on those Hail Mary passes, you're going to get that. And referee Steve Newman, I think, wants to communicate something. Is he going to say they ate the flag? Let's see.
Jim Sanson is 45 yards.
Yep, no flag. So now they're going to attempt the field goal. On third down, could you smell the fake here? The holder is Caputo. He's a walk-on. This will be a 45-yard field goal attempt to try to unsnap this tie for Jim Sanson. Here's the snap. The ball's down. The kick is blocked. It goes high in the air, and it will be fielded by Notre Dame, and there's a big scrum, and that ends the first half of play. Chiffon Allen blocked that field goal attempt, and the Panthers celebrate as they head to the locker room at halftime. How about that? Jim Caputo is the man who fielded that high bounce out of the air off the tip by Chiffon Allen, and the scrum ended the half. Halftime here at Pitt Stadium with a score. University of Pittsburgh 10, Notre Dame 10. You're listening to University of Pittsburgh football.
How would you like to get a better read on Pittsburgh for just $9.99 a year? Call 1-800-909-TRIB now for home delivery of the Pittsburgh Tribune Review's Weekend Plus package. Just $9.99 gets you Thursday through Sunday's Trib for an entire year. Wow! You get Thursday's Trib featuring 4 full pages of high school football. Friday's paper with Ticket, the area's premier entertainment guide. You also get all the area's sports scores every Saturday. Plus, you get the big Sunday Trib featuring Stadium Extra. Hey, it's a must-read for every Steelers fan. And you get all this for just $9.99 for 1 whole year. Call 1-800-909-TRIB now for our Weekend Plus package, and you'll...
For 8 decades, Pitt Stadium has been the home of the Pittsburgh Panthers. To honor and celebrate the heritage of this great symbol of Pittsburgh athletics, letter winners from every Panther football squad that ever played in Pitt Stadium have today returned to campus. This parade of the decades represents some of the most decorated and honored players and teams in the history of college football. Each decade will be escorted from the South Tunnel by Pittsburgh alumni cheerleaders, who have also returned to celebrate the spirit of this great stadium. The 1990s. This was a decade that saw players like Curtis Martin, Alex Van Pelt, Reuben Brown, and Pete Gonzalez become part of the Panther tradition. And it was...
Well, this is Billy Osborne. I'm down here in the tunnel coming out of the hole for the last time. We are behind the decade of the 90s. Of course, I'm leading out the decade of the 80s, and I'm down here with Adam Walker. Adam, this is a big thrill, isn't it?
This is an awesome experience. The stadium is packed. I'm getting chills through my body right now. I wish I could go out there and run one more time.
I know, and of course, that's Adam Walker, the great running back that played in the 80s here. And we are coming out of the tunnel right now as we speak.
This decade dawned with brilliance. A continuation of a string of 3 consecutive 11-1 seasons brought the Panthers to the very top of the college football elite. A wealth of All-Americans, including Marino and Freilich, earned their stripes on this field.
Presenting for the 1980s are Billy Osborne and Adam Walker.
The 1970s.
Jeremiah was the bullfrog.
All right, I'm crossing midfield right now, Adam Walker and I. I'm down here with Steve Peterson, Chancellor Nuremberg, and Marshall Goldberg, and we're handing the football off, and boy, this is a thrill. I got goosebumps. Steve, good to see you. This is unbelievable.
It's a great day. Great day. I hope you're having a great time because you guys deserve it.
I am, and I've got chills. Chancellor Nuremberg, this is unbelievable. A great sight.
Nothing like it ever before.
I know, you're right. And, of course, Marshall Goldberg, it's a pleasure always to see you again. Great night.
Thank you very much.
All right, Marshall Goldberg.
70s is John Palusi.
The 1960s.
R-E-S-P-C-T, find out what it means to me. Well, shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby.
I found that place for lovers who wander, yeah, whoa.
In this decade, teams of the blue and gold boasted men like Mike Ditka and Paul Murtha. The 1963 Panthers carved out a 9-1 record and a number 3 national ranking.
Presenting for the 1960s.
I'm down here at halftime. Again, I'm down on the field right now. I'm here with Pistol Pete Gonzalez from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pete, what an unbelievable night this is, and you got goosebumps, I'm sure, just like I do.
Oh, man, what a wonderful night to be among so many great football players and such a great past. It's tough to see the stadium go, and it hurts, but, you know, life goes on. I think us as players will cherish this, and I think a new class will come in and carry this tradition for us.
I think so, too. And, again, your 90s is well represented, the 80s, and I don't know about you, but I still have goosebumps walking down the field here for the last time. Something special, huh?
Telling you, I can see why they won so many championships here, man. There's some great football players, some big boys out here, man. It's incredible. But, hey, that's the way, you know, we're a successful program. We'll keep on going.
All right, back upstairs. I'm going to try and get some more guys down here.
Presenting for the 1950s is Corky Cost.
The 1940s.
Rings and things and buttons and bows.
These were difficult years in colleges across America, as World War II sent many young men to fight. But Pittsburgh was not without its shining moments, including great victories over Fordham in 1941 and Penn State in 1948.
Presenting for the 1940s is George Kohut and Herb Douglas.
The 1930s. In this decade, Panther football was dominating. With legendary coach Jock Sutherland at the helm, the Panthers laid claim to college football's national championship 4 times, including back-to-back titles in 1936 and 37, powered by the Dream Backfield.
Presenting for the 1930s is Emil Narek.
The 1920s.
Okay, Billy Osborne back here at the halftime show. I'm sitting here with John Palusi, who played in the decade of the 70s. John, this is unbelievable. I don't know about you, but I still have goosebumps. It's been going on here for about 10 minutes now.
This is just a great evening for all Pitt fans, all Pitt people in Pittsburgh. This is a great night, and I hope that everybody comes back next year when we play down at Three Rivers Stadium, and the following year when we play in the new stadium. I think it's just a tremendous atmosphere, and it's great for the city of Pittsburgh.
All right, that was John Pelusi. We'll go back upstairs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bill Hillgrove. Please direct your attention to midfield. Members of former Panther teams have presented commemorative game balls to Marshall Goldberg, an All-American and member of the Dream Backfield of 1938. Each ball represents one decade of Panther football history by identifying the greatest games of that decade. This trophy, which pays tribute to University of Pittsburgh football, will be permanently displayed in the Pittsburgh Panthers Hall of Fame. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to add a special piece to this trophy. Marshall Goldberg, a representative of this program's great history, is passing a crystal football to Aaron Gibbons, a current student and member of the 12th Man Fan Club. Aaron is passing the crystal football to Jeffrey Bullock, a member of the Junior Panther Fan Club, who represents the great future of Pittsburgh football. Assisting Jeffrey with the placement of the ball are Chancellor Mark Nordenberg and Athletic Director Steve Peterson. Ladies and gentlemen, assembled before you for the first time ever are the players who built the legacy that is Panther football. Among these players have been 19 bowl games, 82 All-Americans, a Heisman Trophy winner, a Lombardi Award winner, an Outland Trophy winner, a Timmy Award winner, 2 Maxwell Award winners, 3 Walter Camp Award winners, and most impressively, 9 national championships.
Billy Osborne down here with the halftime show as we continue. Fireworks are going off right now behind me on the field. All the decades are being represented right here. They're having a commemorative football that just was presented. Marshall Goldberg presented it. The players are all out here clapping. They have the band that's on the other side of the field facing the players. And all the players right now are looking behind them and talking about the national champions. That's what's going on right now. The fireworks are going off for each national champion at the University of Pittsburgh was awarded. And I'm going to go right here. We're live on the air. We're here with Craig Hayward. Craig, unbelievable.
Oh, this is awesome, Billy. You know, you've been here, you know, and this is just the fanfare that we've, you know, you can receive in a situation that, you know, they're going to knock it down and build something better. Hopefully this continues to go on. Unfortunately, we all got together, you know, with the tearing down of the stadium, but hopefully it continues when we build a new stadium.
Again, Craig Ironhead Hayward, a member of the 80s, a fine, tremendous running back here. Many great memories, and he's out here with us right now. And I'm getting overtaken by the band, so we'll go back upstairs.
Testing, 1, 2. It's halftime here at Pitt Stadium with a score. The Panthers 10, the Fighting Irish 10. You're listening to University of Pittsburgh football.
If coronary artery disease is a time bomb, this is the best way to dismantle it. UPMC Health System offers the region's most advanced ways of restoring blood flow. the most options for treating all forms of the disease. And the sooner you call 1-800-533-UPMC, the better. Choose your health care as if your life depended on it. UPMC Health System.
Today is the day of the big game. You're outside the stadium at a tailgate party. You've been hitting on this one babe now for about 20 minutes, and you think you're making good time. This chick is digging on you. Or is she?
Here, try a straw.
Man, you've been asking for it.
Hey, thanks.
With a playful grin, she watches you open it. The honestly fresh taste of straw beer, made with pure mountain spring water. No sugars, syrups, or preservatives added.
Hey, where the am I?
It's halftime here at Pitt Stadium with a score. The Panthers 10 and the Fighting Irish 10. This is the Pittsburgh Panther Radio Network.
Their heroics are legend.
Stuck him out swinging. Haddock pitches a perfect 9 innings, no hits, no run game.
Plays frozen in memory and time.
Now Bradshaw firing downfield. There goes Stallworth. He pulls it in, and it's a touchdown for Pittsburgh.
Moments that live on in the hearts of fans young and old alike.
The Penguins win in overtime.
Duquesne Light is proud to team with the players, their coaches, and the fans who spur them on.
The Steelers are the Super Bowl champions.
More power to you from Duquesne Light.
Diabetes. 1 minute your sugar is up, the next it's down. The key is to maintain a balance. UPMC Health System has the region's most comprehensive diabetes program with all the latest diagnostics, medication, and research. You can let diabetes take you for a ride, or you can call 1-800-533-UPMC. Choose your health care as if your life depended on it. UPMC Health System.
You got a real deal on your new brakes.
Sorry now.
You let Cousin Alf tune up your car.
Sorry now.
And to save a few bucks, you went with cut-rate car insurance instead of State Farm. So when you had a claim, you got the kind of results you'd expect from Cousin Alf. You won't be sorry with State Farm car insurance.
That halftime show lit up this capacity crowd for the final time at Pitt Stadium. The second half is next. With a score, Pittsburgh 10, Notre Dame 10. You're listening to University of Pittsburgh football.
Hi, this is Mike Pinsack. A lot of dirty, sweaty Panther football players can wreak havoc in the showers after a game. But no one really worries because the showers are sprayed after each game with Austin's Wipe Away Shower Cleaner. And now you can use it at home. Just pick up a bottle of Austin's Wipe Away Daily Shower Spray at your favorite store. If it works for the Panthers, it will surely work for your home team. Austin's Wipe Away Daily Shower Spray. I use it, the Panthers use it, and you should too.
Their heroics are legend.
Intercepted! The Panthers have the football, and they've got the football game!
Plays frozen in memory and time.
Marino goes deep.
Moments that live on in the hearts of fans young and old alike.
Pittsburgh Panthers are the national champions.
Duquesne Light is proud to team with the players, their coaches, and the fans who spur them on.
The Panthers win! The Panthers win in overtime!
More power to you from Duquesne Light.
In that first half, Notre Dame outpossessed the Panthers 18-32 to 11-28. In the rushing department, Notre Dame rushed the football 20 times for 40 yards. The Panthers 14 times for 55 yards. Notre Dame, however, did have a total offense of 162 yards on 42 snaps. The Panthers had 153 on 28 snaps. The Panther turnovers hurt them, and that situation where the Panthers had a pass tipped and intercepted led to a Notre Dame field goal. And then a punt that went out of bounds gave Notre Dame the football to come down and tie the contest, driving at 57 yards in 10 plays to make it 10-10. Jarius Jackson to Joey Getherall from 5 yards out, left corner of the end zone, and that made it a tie ball game. And then the Panthers, on first down from the 34, got a 14-yard gain by Nick Goings to the 48. That changed the philosophy. Then instead of just running the clock out, they decided to throw the football, and that was disastrous because the pass was intercepted by linebacker Denman. Notre Dame came down, On a 1st and 10 at the 28 with 12 seconds left, tried to put it in the end zone. It was incomplete, out of the end zone, wide of the left boundary. And then with 6 seconds left, they tried the field goal from 45. It was blocked by Jeff McCurley, redshirt freshman linebacker from Mohawk. And that's the way the first half ended, 10-10. In the passing department, Jarius Jackson for the Irish, 11 of 22 for 122 yards, 1 touchdown. John Turman was 5 for 14 for 98 yards. He threw for a touch, but he's also intercepted twice. In the rushing department, Tony Fisher carried 3 times for 15 yards for the Irish. The fullback Lipinski 5 times for 13 yards. Julius Jones, the tailback, 4 times for 9 yards. And Getherall on a gadget play got 2 yards on a counter pitch on his only carry. The Panthers, with Nick Goings on 6 carries, had 27 yards. John Turman on 4 carries had 18 yards. Kevin Barlow on 3 carries had only 8 yards. Chris Viola picked up 2 yards on 1 carry. In the punting department, Hildbold on 5 punts averaged almost 41 yards. And here's the kickoff the second half that's going to go into the end zone. Torrey Cox lets it bounce. It's the automatic touchback. Notre Dame kicking to the Panthers, and the Panthers will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line in a 10-10 game. John Turman subbing for the injured David Priestley. Priestley hurt himself in the game last week against Miami. He dove for a first down, hit his elbow instead of his hand, and of course without that cushion the shoulder took the blow. Partially torn ligament in his shoulder. He fears that it might be a recurrence of an injury he suffered in high school. He's not dressed for this game, and here comes Turman with the Panthers, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, and a 10-10 tie to start the third quarter. Turman turns and gives it to Goings. Crack off the right side. Goings up over the 25 to the 28-yard line for 8 yards. Deveron Harper, the cornerback on that side, made the stop. Goings shows real good quickness as he gets that burst, gets going north and south. 2nd down 2 for the Panthers from the 28-yard line. This capacity crowd really enjoyed that halftime show, and it was great to see Marshall Goldberg running a pass pattern for Judge Narek. 2nd down and 2 from the 28. Turman turns and gives to his tailback, who's only going to get a yard. That's the fullback Fiola. He only gets a yard. He's tripped up at the 29, and that sets up a 3rd down and 1 from the 29-yard line. Bill Osborne, did you enjoy yourself on the field?
Oh, my God, Billy. I could have probably floated up here after that halftime show. It was just so special. You don't have enough time down there. You see everybody, you're hugging, you're shaking hands, you're seeing guys you haven't seen in years. I'm trying to get interviews, do a job, and it's just, it was really, really special to be down there, and I hope that came across on the air.
Well, it fired this crowd up, that's for sure. 3rd down 1, power formation for the Panthers. The turn and the give is to Goings, and Goings drives for the first down off the left side between guard Kai Downey and tackle Ethan Weidel. What a year Ethan has had, kind of anchoring this Panther young offensive line.
And the senior there, he's played guard before, he's played center, now he's playing tackle today. And again, Billy, that offensive front wall got some movement. A lot of times on 3rd and short or 2nd and short situations, you like to see the quarterback sneak, because at times you bring that ball all the way back to the tailback. It's easy for the defensive line to get penetration. Let's give the offensive line credit. They got movement, and Nick Goins did the rest.
How did you get up here, Mr. Osborne?
Let me tell you something. I got mugged on the way up here. I walked. I'm out of breath.
I can tell. 1st and 10 from the 31. Panthers go slot left. Oh, there's a loose football, but this is going to be whistled down by Panther movement as flags fly all over creation. Panthers just weren't on the same page that time. Some people were moving and some were not. And I think Turman expected the ball before McCurley snapped it. That can be dangerous.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
So that's twice now that's happened in the ball game where they've had some miscommunication with the center and the quarterback exchange, and I do not know if that's because of the loudness of the crowd or what, Billy, but there's something going on right now. That's twice. I do know this, walking back up, everybody was on their feet. It's so loud down there, Billy, it's tough to hear yourself think.
That's a Panthers' 2nd penalty of the game. 1st and 15 from the 26. Turman back. Big pressure, throws the ball up, and it's tipped and incomplete. Threw it up intended at the 38-yard line for Lateef Grimm in front of Clifford Jefferson, and the ball was deflected incomplete. It's 2nd down and 15. The incompletion stops the third quarter clock in a tie game at 13 minutes, 7 seconds left.
And Billy, on that side right there, Brad Williams and Lamont Bryant, the tackle and the end to that side, ran a twist. And what that means is the inside guy runs inside, the outside guy kind of twists around them. It's to confuse the offensive line for the Panthers. That's what happened. The guard to that side never picked up the twist by Bryant and got pressure on Terman, of course, caused the incompletion.
Here's a give to Goings. Goings finds a little bit of a crack and stumbles forward, gets to the 30-yard line for 4 yards. He'll set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and almost 11 as he's tripped up along the way. And now the Panthers send an extra wide out onto the field as Fiola comes to the sideline.
Now here's what you want here. You have a 3rd and long situation. Obviously, they've been running some crossing patterns, been trying to work the middle of the field. They did run an out route or a banana route early in the ball game on a little fade route to completion, but what you do not want to happen is have John Terman get pressure and throw a ball up with the chance of an Oski.
Panthers 3rd and 11 at their 30 in a 10-10 game. Terman rolls away from the heat. He's looking. He pumps. He keeps, and he dives out to the 33-yard line. He needed 11, got about 3. That's all, and the punt team is on for the Panthers.
Well, John got flushed out of the pocket. He was able to run the football a little bit, but the only problem is he needed 11 yards. There were some receivers free down the field. Antonio Bryant was coming back for the ball, but Terman could not find him, and the Panthers are forced to punt on their first series here in the second half. John Terman has got to raise his level in the second half, or the Panthers are going to have a hard time winning today's ball game.
John Parker over the football at the Panther 33. Greg DeBold awaits the punt snap, and Julius Jones is a return man for Notre Dame. And DeBold, tight spiral and a high hanger, signaling for the fair catch and taking it to 26. And now they throw a flag.
Look at this.
And I think they're going to say that a Panther interfered with the fair catch, and there was no Panther near him when the ball came down.
Well, Billy, the most amazing thing is that
they picked it up.
Okay.
They picked it up.
I'm going to say the official right next to the ball, or right next to the punt return, did not throw the flag. It was the judge on the sideline, the line judge, and he ended up picking it up. So that's a break for the Panthers.
And with the score, 10-10, we got a tie ball game. 12:15 to go third quarter. This is the Pittsburgh Panther Radio Network.
For more than a century, their gridiron exploits have amazed and delighted thousands.
Pass is caught. First down, Panthers.
For generations, their cheers and chants have electrified Saturday afternoons. They are the spirit of blue and gold, on the field and in the stands. Duquesne Light is proud to team with the Panthers, their coaches, and the fans who spur them on.
Touchdown, Panthers!
More power to you from Duquesne Light.
It kills nearly 20 times more kids than drugs. It's 3 times more deadly than guns, and twice as lethal as any disease. Yet it is safe to say your child couldn't imagine living without it. State Farm wants to make kids safer in cars. So we're the sole sponsor of America's largest child passenger safety study, a 5-year program conducted by the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, helping make kids and cars safer.
Panthers and the Irish tied at 10. Third quarter. Let's go to the sideline and Paul Pish.
Hey, guys, I'm with a gentleman by the name of Bob Kraft from North Huntington. He hasn't missed a football game in this stadium since 1967. That's some 170 games ago, Bob. Your fondest moment?
4 games come to mind. The first, when I was a student, 1970, Pitt, West Virginia. We were getting creamed 35-8. Cold, miserable, ugly day. Everybody left except a few crazies. We stayed, and I watched them beat them 36-35. Davey Havern played a perfect second half. It was terrific. Second game, it was Tony Dorsett on this field in 1975. He ripped off 340-some yards between running and pass receiving. It was, I was hoarse for 2 weeks. Third, that same year, Syracuse against Pitt. Down in that end zone, Al Romano must have read their mind. He knew what they were running. They stopped them on 4th and short. He went on to win the national championship. Number 4, just a few years ago, Pitt, Miami. And that's it.
He's got him ranked.
Yes, he does.
Thank you. Here comes Notre Dame, 1st and 10 after the 41-yard punt from the Irish 26. Jackson, straight ahead handoff. A crease for the running back, and boy, what power drive by Tony Fisher. He just takes a defender and pushes him out to about the 39-yard line. And let's see what this is all about. Why did I miss the down and distance? It's 2nd and 2, and I know he ran for more than 10 yards. Was there a penalty on that play?
No. I think you got it. You're.
Oh, it was first.
Yep.
Okay, so it's 2nd down, and we'll call it.
Panthers need to get something going here for a turnover to get this crowd into the ball game.
And here's the give to the second man through, and he's got the first down, and that is Tony Fisher. And he bounces his way up to about the 45-yard line. Needed 2, got 6. And that is a Notre Dame first down. They're doing it with their big people up front. Morandi, the center, is 300. Jones, the left guard, 308. Gandy, the right guard, is 297. Vollers, the left tackle, 295. And Teasdale, the right tackle, is 304. They're big and strong, and they do move the pile.
And the Panthers are 4th in the Big East against the rush, giving up 136 yards a ball game, and they're totally outmatched up front. Size.
1st and 10, Notre Dame from its 45 and a 10-10 tie. High formation, and the give on the sprint draw handoff is to the tailback Fisher, and he spins into Panther territory down to the 45-yard line, close to a first down. Ramon Walker made the trip tackle.
Well, right now, they're cutting off the Panthers at the front 7. They're giving the running back some creases up there. And I'm telling you right now, the Panthers have got to do a better job at the point of attack, or the Notre Dame is just going to try and run the ball between the tackles. And then just when you think they're going to run the football, they're going to play action pass you and throw the ball downfield.
One man outside the formation. They've got 2 tight ends on 2nd and inches at the Panther 45. Jarius Jackson under center, out of an eye. Turns and gives to the second man through. He hits his own blocker, but I think he gets a first down. Julius Jones just keeps going, and he bounces.
And a fumble,
Billy. Got a loose football, and it looks like it might be going the other way. No official signal yet. Hold on. And the Panthers come out of the pile with the ball, and I do believe they've recovered. Ken Cashabera has recovered a fumble at the Panther 44-yard line. Ponko made the hit.
Well, Billy, I was just calling for a turnover, and that's what they need to do to get the crowd going, because they were getting pushed around. Julius Jones was trying to throw to his right. He was just trying to pick up the first down. He got stood up, then bounced it to his left. And when he bounced it to his left, Mark Ponko came up and put his helmet right on the football, caused the fumble, and one of the Panthers recovered. I'm not sure. Actually, Billy, that was stripped from behind by number 97, Mike White.
1st and 10 Panthers. Play action fake from the 43. Long pass down the field. There's a man down there, and it's caught at the 15-yard line and tackled at the 11 is Antonio Bryant, and he caught it in heavy traffic.
So many times you see after a turnover, a big play, the offense comes out in the field and tries to go down the field, and this was no different. A play action pass, Antonio Bryant, man-to-man on the outside with number 15, Clifford Jefferson. He got behind him and then just somehow, Billy turned his body around so he could get to the football, and John Turman laid it in perfectly right over Jefferson's head, right into Bryant's hand, and right away from the safety, Cooper, coming off the hash.
45-yard pass play. 1st and 10 Panthers at the Notre Dame 12-yard line. Turman turns and gives to his tailback, and that is Kevin Barlow. And he fights his way inside the 5, and he's down to about the 3-yard line. He might have a first down. Kevin Barlow would not be denied. Lamont Bryant is credited with the tackle.
And Kevin Barlow's getting up doing his Jerome Bettis imitation. Give me the football. He wants the rock, and rightly so. He's a big man, and right now, in between the tackles, this is where it's all about, trying to move the pile forward. And, Billy, the last couple times the Panthers have gotten down here, they have tried to pass the ball on first down. That time, it was different. They give the ball to Kevin Barlow. He bounces, weaves his way through, and picks up 8, close to 9 yards.
2nd and 1 at the 3. Turman under center. Turns and gives to Barlow. Barlow for the goal line. Barlow's into the end zone off left guard for the Panther touchdown. He was met at the line of scrimmage by Deke Cooper, the free safety, and he says, Deke, we're going to the end zone.
That's what we're talking about, different than Nick Goins. Nick Goins is a tough, strong kid, but he doesn't have the size behind him, doesn't have that big butt, the big legs that Kevin Barlow has. The ability to bounce off of tackles, the same exact play that they ran on first down, kind of a split back situation. As soon as the ball was snapped, Kevin Barlow went to his right, took the handoff, cut it back to his left. The fullback in there, Fiola, made the kick-out block, and Barlow again did the rest, bouncing off the initial hit and falling into the end zone for 6.
Panthers set up the muddle huddle extra point. Stein will hold. McMullen snapping. Lots to give the boot, and the kick is on its way. That kick is good, and the Panthers drive the football 57 yards in 3 plays and lead it 17-10. This is the Pittsburgh Panther Radio Network.
If you want to get a better read on Pittsburgh, get it from the people who live it.
Well, I had an impulse to communicate and no instinct to perform, so I guess for me that meant writing. Movies were there. I mean, it was just what I always wanted to do.
Meet movie critic Ed Blank of the Pittsburgh Tribune Review, the paper that's fast becoming Pittsburgh's preferred paper because of writers like Ed and fanfare social columnist Gene Horn.
Few folks have the fortitude or wherewithal to attend every swelligant event, even if they have minty fresh breath. But they can read all about the week's tippy-top parties with me every Monday morning in the Tribune Review, in Technicolor yet.
And if you want to get a better read on the arts, get it from the experts like art critic Graham Shearing.
I called my column originally The Art Enthusiast, and that's really what you should know about me. Rocking the boat is no bad thing, particularly in the arts.
Get a better read on Pittsburgh. Pick up a copy of the Pittsburgh Tribune Review or call 1-800-909-TRIB today.
And go.
The Panthers march it 56 yards in 3 plays, and just when things looked dark and the Panther offense appeared to have a sense of lethargy, John Terman was 1 for his last 8 passes. All of a sudden, a fumble recovery by Ken Cashabera gives the Panthers the football at the 44-yard line. 56 yards later, Kevin Barlow's in the end zone. I don't get excited.
No,
and the Panthers lead 17-10.
Well, me either, Billy. But, defensively, too, Bill, they were getting pushed around at the point of attack, and that's why I was saying sometimes like that, you need to get a turnover, whether it's an Oski or a strip football, and that's what happened with Julius Jones, Bill, who his brother plays down in Virginia, I believe.
He's the leading rusher.
The leading rusher in the country. So this guy can run the football, and what he was trying to do is make something happen. You see it all the time. He got stopped initially, tried to bounce it back to his left, and when he got stood up, the Panther defense, and we're thinking it was Joe Conlon, we're not positive on that, did what he is taught to do. When a ball carrier stood up, stripped the football, that's what happened. The Panthers recover, and they go 56 yards and make that turnover hurt, and the Panthers go up 17-10.
There are 2 deep receivers for Notre Dame, Gibbons and Jones. Lots on the run-up. And he kicks it straight down the middle of the field. It's high. Inside the 10, taken at the 8-yard line by Julius Jones. To the 10-15, right side 20, runs out of bounds at about the 23-yard line on a wicked hit on the sideline. Who went over there and did the pile driving? Ozzie?
Billy, it was either Teron Gray from Millville, New Jersey, or number 1, Darnell Dickens, because they both came up fired up, but I think it was Teron Gray, a New Jersey native, coming down the sideline, L1 with a knockout shot.
Now, why would you pay particular attention to a Jersey product?
Well, because I'm
a Jersey product.
A Jersey product. I'm a little partial to those Jersey guys. They just showed the replay, and it was Teron Gray on that sideline. Those Jersey guys can hit.
Some of them.
Some of them.
I'm only teasing. First down 10, Notre Dame from its 23. Jackson under center with an offset backfield. Jackson to throw it on first down. Has plenty of time. Dumps it over the middle. The pass is complete, but a quick tackle at the 27-yard line on Gibbons by Ramon Walker. A 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Well, the Panthers were in man coverage on the outside. They played kind of a zone over top, but this time Ramon Walker from his free safety spot has the first man out of the backfield that shows, and that time it was the running back. Give him credit. He came up and did a nice job in the open field with the tackle to stop that for not a big gain.
Panthers lead 17-10. Clock winds in the 3rd quarter to 8:36.
And this crowd is fired up right now. The student section is on their feet.
2nd down, 6, slot left. Jackson has a check with me. Changes the play at the line of scrimmage. Option left to the wide side. Pitches it back. The Panthers contain the pitch. And down goes the running back. Tony Fisher had no chance. Perfect execution. Brian Knight with a coup d'etat.
A coup d'etat, coup de do, coup de don't. He went straight down to the ground. And, Billy, that was what you call a picture-perfect pursuit angles, picture-perfect way to stop the option. Coach Coyer's got to be ecstatic in the booth. They did a terrific job stringing the option out, making the quarterback, Jarius Jackson, commit, and then gobbling up the pitch man for the loss.
3-yard loss, 3rd down 9 for the Irish. They go shotgun. From their 24-yard line, they trail by 7. And this crowd is revved. And I'm sure Jackson is having trouble with that. He's back. Not a blitz. He fires. The pass is into and out of the hands of the receiver, Bobby Brown, at the 39-yard line. And the punt team is on for the Fighting Irish. It was catchable. Demetrius Rich had coverage. but Brown didn't squeeze that one.
Well, Billy, that was a curl route down to the short side of the field, and Brian Beinecke to that side, the linebacker, got in the way of the quarterback's vision, and he forced Jarius Jackson to lead Brown a little bit too far up the middle of the field because he got in the throwing lane and caused the incompletion.
Punt formation for Joey Hillgrove, the freshman. And he gets rid of it. It's low, and it's signaled fair catch, and then the ball is hit by a Panther, and I do believe Notre Dame touched it first. So let's see what they're going to rule as Notre Dame falls on the football at the 33-yard line. They will down it there. I do believe the ball bounced on the turf and then hit an Irish player first. Now the Irish players are signaling, and the officials signal that it's Irish football. How can they say that? The ball hit a Notre Dame player first, according to the way I saw it. Now they have a discussion.
They're showing it on the replay right now. Nobody touched the football. Hank Poteet went to get it.
And we couldn't tell from that replay if he touched it or not.
Actually, it doesn't. I didn't know if anybody touched the football. It did not look like anybody touched the football from this angle. If anybody did, it looked like it was number 8 to that side, Demetrius Rich. And if you're returning a punt, what you were taught to do is when the punt returner gets up there, he yells, Peter, Peter, or poison, poison. You were told to run out of there, forget about blocking anybody, and get out of Dodge so the ball doesn't hit you.
Notre Dame 1st and 10 at the 33. They recover. They're in Panther territory. And the give is to the tailback, and he's going to get 3 yards. Tony Fisher is ankle tackled by Brian Beinecke as he reaches for the 30. And that's about it. I'd like to see that one explained to me because it did not appear to touch a Panther or a receiver. And that's what the mystery is as far as I'm concerned. But maybe it was touched by a Panther. But from my naked eye, I thought a Notre Dame person touched that ball first.
Well, Billy, I don't know if anybody touched it, but you're exactly right because you're way up here. You couldn't tell. They had a discussion on the field. They couldn't tell. So it's anybody's guess, but the Notre Dame Fighting Irish get another break deep inside Panther territory.
2nd and 7, play action fake. Jackson backfires a pass. It's complete. It looks like a first down, and then the Panthers twist Bobby Brown off his feet. The ball is loose. Are they going to call the play ended by a whistle? I do believe that's the case, and it appears to be a first down.
Well, again, Notre Dame just working that little curl route against the Panthers' man-to-man coverage. A pitch and catch. Jarius Jackson finding Bobby Brown on the comeback route. The Panthers respecting his deep threat. He averages about 17 yards a catch. He can flat out go get the football. But again, it's a little stop route, just enough to pick up the first down. Demetrius Rich comes up to make the tackle. And then the strip by Ramon Walker, but the whistle was blown. And the Panthers defense still on the field. Notre Dame 1st and 10.
7-yard gain and a first down. Needed 7. Got exactly that to the Panther 23. Notre Dame got a break because they recovered an alleged fumbled punt and put the capital A on alleged. And the deep give is to the tailback, and he's going to fight for 2 yards as Tony Fisher to the 21 as we pause for station identification. This is the Pittsburgh Panther Radio Network.
News, traffic, weather, and sports. We've got it all. This is News Radio KQV Pittsburgh, flagship of the Pittsburgh Panthers.
2-yard gain by Fisher before Ponko and Hayes combine on the stop at the 21-yard line. The clock at 5:48. It turns. 3rd quarter. Panthers lead 17-10. Notre Dame with a break and a fumble recovery keeps the drive alive with a 2nd and 8 at the Panther 21. They go twins left to the wide side. Jackson, counter pitch again. He's trying to turn the corner, going to throw a pass. There's a man wide open, touchdown Notre Dame. They counter pitched it to David Givens, who threw the touchdown strike of 21 yards to Bobby Brown, wide open behind the Panthers secondary.
A perfect play call by Bob Davie and the Notre Dame staff over there. The offensive coordinator, Kevin Rogers. Perfect down and distance. You're in the red zone or close to the red zone. The Panther defense is pursuing so hard to the football. Again, that misdirection, option down to the short, wide side of the field, reverse coming back, and this time the pass off of it, wide open Bobby Brown for 6.
Here's the extra point try by Sanson. It's a knuckleball, but it gets up there and through, and Notre Dame ties the game with a lucky break. You talk about the luck of the Irish. We saw it there. If a Panther touched that ball, then I have got to be Mahatma Gandhi. 17-17. This is the Pittsburgh Panther Radio Network.
Believe it or not, there are still some people who don't play all 3 Pennsylvania Lottery daily games. You know, Daily Number, Big 4, and Cash 5. Like Walt here from Hershey. What's up with that, Walt?
Triskophobia.
Oh, fear of the number 3?
Oh, I'm afraid so.
But, Walt, there's nothing to be afraid of. Just play your daily games one at a time. Play the daily number in the morning, Big 4 in the afternoon, and Cash 5 after work. That way you avoid your problem with buying tickets in the number after 2.
I never thought of that.
So go over to that newsstand down the street and buy your first ticket, pal.
Great. Now all I have to do is make sure I don't step on any cracks in the sidewalk.
Right.
Watch out for black cats, not walk under any ladders, nor people in hats.
Oh, boy, is that guy in for a long walk. Well, since you don't have Walt's problem, play your Pennsylvania Lottery daily games all at once and get 3 times the fun, 3 times the excitement, and 3 chances to win. You must be 18 or older, and proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians.
5 minutes, 27 seconds left of the third quarter. Notre Dame deadlocks the game. They march at 33 yards after recovering a punt. But again, from the naked eye, it appeared to me that no Panther touched the football. If indeed it was touched first, it was touched by an Irish player.
Well, Billy, what we have to look at right now is Notre Dame has 10 points on drives that they've had to go less than 25 yards. The first one off the tipped interception, they get the playback, they get the ball, they kick a field goal after that. This time off of the punt, the muff punt, they only have to go about 30, 35 yards. So 2 out of their 3 drives, I'm not sure about the third drive, Bill. You would know how long that was. But at least 2 out of the 3, they've had to go less than 35 yards to put points on the board. So the Panther defense doing a nice job. Just Notre Dame only having to go to short field.
Ozzie, that other drive was 57-10 after the out-of-bound punt. And they scored late to make it 10-10 on that pass by Jackson to Getherall. Here's the kickoff by Sanson. Angled to the near side, taken at the 5 by Torrey Cox to the 10-15. At the 20, he's hit, and he falls forward to the 25-yard line. So the Panthers will start 1st and 10 at their 25. The play ended by a tackle by Deveron Harper. Panther fans say thanks to UPMC Sports Medicine. Choose your health care as if your life depended on it. And to State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And, Bill, that's why we talk about field position. So important to manage field position. All 3 scores for Notre Dame, basically what you would call short field. That's an advantage to any team, whether it's the Fighting Irish, the Panthers, or what. The Panthers now have to go the long field at the ball at the 25-yard line.
Slot man Grimm goes in motion right. The give is to the second man Barlow. And he bursts through the hole up over the 30, tackled at the 32-yard line for 7 yards on the carry, tackled by Tyreo Harrison, the middle backer. Let's go to the sideline at Paul Pish. Paul?
Guys, I have a special guest by the name of Mike Gallagher who has some special words for the Billy Club. Mike?
Well, you know, as a kid, I grew up next to Pitt Stadium and worked as a ball boy, and many of us have special Panthers. Mine is Bill Hillgrove. He inspired me. I became a broadcaster in Erie, Pennsylvania because of him.
Thank you, Mike Gallagher, for those nice words. Mike with the Jet up in Erie. The give is to Nick Goings. First down off the left side. Up over the 35 to the 38-yard line. Needed 2, got about 6, and the Panthers move the sticks. Jefferson made the stop from his cornerback slot.
And they're doing it on the ground. Talking to the coaches on the field before the ball game, they really wanted to try and establish the running game. And you can see, Billy, they have been able to run the football. Just a couple plays here and there has put them back and haven't put them in 3rd and long situations. But they're able to run the football, and that benefits a lot of things. But most importantly, it benefits the quarterback, Turman, because it keeps him out of 3rd and long situation. And when he goes to play action, it sets up options all over the place downfield.
Now the Panthers go to an eye. And the give. Got a flea flicker going. Turman gets the pass back, throws it down the field. There's a man open, and the pass will be interference at the 16-yard line. He caught it. Lateef Grimm took it away from Johnny Sanders despite the flags on the ground, and the flea flicker gets the Panthers in scoring position.
Well, what happens is, Billy, you set up the running game. This is just what I was just talking about. You run the football effectively. And then what happens? You give the ball to Kevin Barlow. So what happens? The linebackers have to come up. The safeties have to come up and get involved in the running game. The Panthers knew that was going to happen. I talked to them before the ball game. They said, watch out for flea flickers. A perfect down and distance. Once again, the Panthers give the ball to Kevin Barlow. He runs into the line of scrimmage. He throws the ball back to John Turman. The key there is to get the offensive lineman to give your quarterback time to throw the football, and they did just that. Only thing I was concerned about is Lateef Grimm and Antonio Bryant were both downfield in the same area, and Billy, on the replay, Lateef Grimm, a one-handed catch.
47 yards. Panthers first 10 from the 15. Barlow is roughed up as he goes into the hole, knocked backwards. Think he lost a yard. Anthony Denman flying through the gap made the stop at the 15-yard line. It's 2nd down 11. the Panthers declined the pass interference penalty, obviously, because in college football, the max you get out of that is 15 yards. The Panthers lose 2. It's 2nd and 12.
Well, Kevin Barlow was stumbling as he was coming to the line of scrimmage. Lateef Grimm in the day's ball game, 4 catches, 112 yards.
Panthers with a 2nd and 12 at the 16. Notre Dame shows blitz. Turman under center out of an I formation. He does a check with me. He's back. He fires the out pattern. It's broken up at the line of scrimmage. Coming up to make that play is linebacker Ricky Boyman, sophomore outside backer from Cincinnati, Ohio, and he got in the way of a Turman pass and knocked it incomplete. It's 3rd down and 12.
And a sure completion because Lateef Grimm was man-to-man on that outside again with number 15, Clifford Jefferson. Jefferson was playing way inside. It was man-to-man coverage. Lateef came off the line of scrimmage, really closed the cushion very quickly, and then broke it to the outside. Turman just could not get the football. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. The Panthers 3rd and long.
Grimm, a flanker left, and now motioned by Mendenhall out of the backfield. Turman back, looking right. Pass is behind the intended receiver. There's contact at the 10, and a complaint from Antonio Bryant. But it'll be an incomplete pass, and the field goal unit is on. Deveron Harper had the assignment there and did a pretty good job of covering Antonio Bryant.
Billy, personally, I think that was pass interference looking down the short side of the field. Antonio Bryant has got to do a better job getting off the line of scrimmage. You got to threaten deep and then cut it to the inside. Your quarterback's carrying you to get off the line of scrimmage. But right there, Deveron Harper got away with a hold and then a bump as the ball was coming to Antonio Bryant.
33-yard field goal attempt for Nick Lotz. Stein holding. McMullen snapping. The snap is down. The kick is on its way by Lotz. That kick is end over end. That kick is up. That kick is good. And the Panthers unsnap the tie once again. 3:09 left, 3rd quarter. The Panthers lead it 20-17.
Well, a nice job by Nick Lotz. He's starting to come on here, Billy. Early in the season, he was very erratic. Came out of camp very erratic. And last year he was very erratic. But that's a weapon out there when you can have a field goal kicker. You can go out there. If you get stopped on the offensive side of the ball, you can go out there and hit those chip shots. That's not a chip shot. It's a 33-yarder. That's a kick you got to have, and the Panthers got it, and they go on top now 20-17.
And Lotz is 12 for 16 on the season, having a great sophomore season,
yes,
young man from Findlay, Ohio. As the Panthers continue this interesting season, we invite you to make your stay a memorable one at the Wyndham Garden Hotel, University Place, Oakland's favorite overnight accommodations. You can experience their breathtaking lobby and elegant guest rooms with all the comforts of home. Enjoy fine dining in their famous Garden Cafe. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you'll be treated the right way, the Wyndham way, at the new Wyndham Garden Hotel, University Place, located in the heart of Oakland. For reservations, call 1-800-WYNDHAM today. Wyndham is spelled W-Y-N-D-H-A-M. Do that on your keypad, and do it today. Lotz on the run-up for the kickoff. And he boots it high. Inside the 10, taken at the 6 by Julius Jones. Starts to the left side, finds a crack up over a man, 25-30. Tackle from behind as he gets to the 32-yard line. Fine job in pursuit that time.
By the kicker.
By Nick Lotz. And also, yeah, it was Nick Lotz who stayed in his lane and then went and chased down Jones from behind.
Well, that drive for the Panthers, 7 plays, 61 yards, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And for the game now, John Turman, 7 of 18, 196 yards. Nick Goins, 9 carries for 47 yards. Barlow, 7 carries for 26 yards.
Panthers lead it 20-17. Notre Dame starts with relatively good field position at their 32. They go I, 2 tight ends. The only man outside the formation is out to the right. And they set up the boundary pitch. And it's gathered in by the tailback, and he comes up over the 35, does Tony Fisher, to the 37 for about 5 yards, almost 6. Demetrius Rich came up and got his legs, and a Panther is down in the backfield. And that is Brian Knight, who has really come on in his last several games as a sophomore from Buffalo, and he's injured on the play, and the Panther Medical Corps is out there. 2:43 left, 3rd quarter. The Panthers leading 20-17.
Well, Knight actually had the quarterback that time. And when he pitched the ball, Jackson that time, he ran at his legs. And I can't imagine it being more than maybe getting the wind knocked out of him because the foot kind of rolled up on his chest a little bit. But he was kind of overextended when Jackson pitched the football and rolled into him a little bit. But hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him or just got a foot in his mouth.
It was a 6-yard gain on the pitch to the boundary. And I think Brian Knight is going to be okay as Ryan Smith comes on at defensive end. Redshirt freshman defensive end from Philadelphia's Roxborough High School. Ozzie, I think you hit it right on the head.
Yep.
Brian Knight is kind of wobbly as he comes to the sideline, but appears that he will return. Now the Panthers make a change in the secondary.
Second down and 4.
It's second down and 4 for the Irish at the Notre Dame 38. They trail 20-17. 2.5 minutes left, third quarter. Jackson out of an eye with receivers to both sides. Sends his wing back in motion. That's Holloway, the tight end, and the give behind Holloway is to the tailback. The Panthers fly to the football. Loose football. The Panthers have it. They strip the football, and they have it at the 30-yard line. Ramon Walker right in the middle of all that stuff.
Ramon Walker actually, Joe Conlon hit him, but Ramon Walker came up from a secondary spot and laid the knockout blow, and then the ball came free, and it looked like it was either Ramon Walker or Seth Hornak that recovered that ball. Again, it's a little off-tackle play, second and short. They brought the ball back to Tony Fisher. Joe Conlon with the stop. Ramon Walker with the stick and the strip and the fumble recovery. Gone the other way. The hitman comes up big again.
The Panthers from the Notre Dame 29, first and 10. Play action fake, Terman back. Firing it, stop for the goal line, a man wide open, and it's incomplete. Just overthrown at the 3-yard line for Latif Grimm. The defender had fallen down. Grimm was wide open, and the ball was overthrown by an inch and a half.
Maybe. Oh, my goodness gracious. They had the perfect coverage in the secondary. Man-to-man on the outside. Latif Grimm cut his split down, got an outside release, worked inside, and then stuck Clifford Jefferson, just like you're taught to do. When he stuck Clifford Jefferson on a post pattern, Jefferson fell down, Grimm wide open, just couldn't get the ball to him.
Second and 10. The slot man, Bryant, goes in motion right to balance. And the give is to Goings, hesitates, goes to the right and fights for maybe a yard. That is not Goings, that's Kevin Barlow getting to the 28. Now the Panthers have a 3rd and 9 at that point. As the third quarter clock winds to 1:55, the Panthers leading 20-17, taking advantage of the fumble recovery by Ramon Walker on the strip. Joe Conlon involved in the hit, and that's the second time today that Conlon has been involved in such a play.
That's exactly right. Joe Conlon having a whale of a game. Actually, the entire defense, Billy, rising to the occasion. And a lot of times on the defensive side of the ball, you can make things happen more so than an offensive unit. When you play with the motion, the crowd is definitely helping the Panthers defensive unit.
3rd and 9 at the Notre Dame 28. Terman is back, has time, fires down the field. There's a man open. Touchdown, Panthers! Right inside the right pylon is Antonio Bryant, the freshman from Florida, and the Panthers score from 28 out.
And he is fired up. Antonio Bryant was the outside receiver. Latif Grimm on the inside. They ran what you call a switch route. And a lot of times the switch route, you take it to the post. But this time, Antonio Bryant ran the underneath route. He pressed the safety on the hash. And as he closed the cushion, he cut it to the pylon, to the flag route instead of the post. And John Terman, once again this time, not missing a wide open receiver. Bryant in for 6.
Extra point try forthcoming. Stein with a hold. The kick by Lotz is on its way. The kick is up and good. And this crowd is revved up as the Panthers lead the Irish by 10. 27-17.
Well, again, I like what John Terman did. He got the ball to the outside. He was looking to his wide side of the field, but Antonio Bryant down on the short side of the field was running the route that, again, was the inside route, Billy, on the switch route. And when he went inside on the switch route, he, again, closed the cushion on the safety on the hash. You can't make that route happen, Billy, if you just run out there and run a banana route. You have to close the cushion on the defender, and when you get up on it, then you stick him. And when he stuck him, the cornerback settled, and he went right to the pylon, and John Terman threw a strike, and this place is going crazy.
What protection, and it happened on 3rd and 9.
The situation where you don't want to keep your quarterback in, but that time the Panthers come up big up front. John Terman goes through his progressions, finds the open receiver. Antonio Bryant makes a great route, and the Panthers score 6 points. It's easy.
The Panthers lead it by 10. Lotz with a kickoff. Jones and Gibbons are the return men. Gibbons to the left, Jones to the right. Nick Lotz having himself a fine day. Panther place kicker from Findlay on the run-up and the boot. And he drives it deep inside the 5, taken at the 4 by Jones. To the 10, left at the 15. turns at the 20. Blockers to the 25 and over the 30 into the 35-yard line. That shouldn't have happened because the Panthers appeared to have that all pretty much crowded, and he found the crack. And again, Nick Lotz has to make the play. The place kicker ends the return.
Well, the special teams unit for Notre Dame doing a terrific job. They're getting the ball on the outside hash, catching the football, bringing it back to the field, and really, a lot of times you don't like to go east-west, but Notre Dame's able to get their kickoff returner to the wedge, to the wall, and they're picking up nice chunks of yards on their returns, the last 4 or 5 anyway.
That one got 31. 1st and 10, Notre Dame from its 36. They trail by 10. They go slot right. Play action. Nope, they do the flea flicker themselves. And here's the pass to the right sideline. There's coverage, and the pass is caught. There's a marker down. And tackled inside the 30 at the 27 is Bobby Brown. But there was a pushing match between Brown and Demetrius Rich.
Well, Demetrius Rich, he can't wait for the 1999 season to get over because they are picking on him, throwing away from Hank Poteet every single game. He either gets beat for a touchdown,
37 yards,
or gets a penalty on a bomb, and that's what happened there. Once again, the flea flicker, this time Notre Dame.
First down.
Interestingly enough, Mark Ponko was in there on the quarterback, but he settled at the last second, or he would have had a sack. Demetrius Rich, give him credit to the outside. He did not fight on that little hesitation route. But when he goes out there, again, he's got to understand you can't have contact past 5 yards, and then you have to look back for the football. If not, you'll get a flag every single time.
Brown's 37-yard reception. The Irish 1st and 10 at the Panther 27. Shotgun for Jackson. He's back. He has time. He throws for the end zone. The pass will be caught in the end zone for the Notre Dame touchdown. David Givens got behind the Panther defenders. There were 2 of them, but neither was close enough to stop that play. The Irish score from 27 out.
Well, there's a flag down. Demetrius Rich, again, Billy, what they're doing is they're exposing him with formations. They're trying to get him matched up. And as long as the Panthers are going to go into man coverage, they're going to continue to throw the football to his side. But again, he had great coverage. You got to look back for the football or they're going to throw the flag. Demetrius Rich doing a nice job at the line of scrimmage. That's very important for a corner. But then when you flip and run, sooner or later, you have to look back for the football. He did not do that and got thrown again for the penalty. Got the flag thrown at him again for the pass interference. Easy for me to say. Notre Dame declines. They'll take the 6 points.
32 seconds left of the quarter. Notre Dame to try to make this a 3-point Panther lead. Low snap, but the ball is on its way. Sanson does a good job, but a better job is done by the holder, Caputo, as Gerald Morgan's snap was low, but it was up and good, and a Notre Dame player shaken up on the play.
Well, Billy, if you're the defensive coaches now for the Panthers, you got somebody who's being exposed. If you want to go man-to-man and you want to blitz the quarterback, that's fine. But you better make sure that Demetrius is either on an inside guy like a tight end or a running back out of the backfield, or give him help over top with a safety, either Ramon Walker, Mark Ponko, or Seth Hornak, because right now he is just not making the plays. He's not finishing the plays. He's doing a nice job early in the routes, but he's not finishing the plays, and Notre Dame is taking advantage of that.
Notre Dame marches it 64 yards on 2 plays. Interference calls on both plays are declined, and Notre Dame is in the end zone and trails 27-24. Jackson is 15 of 26 for 199 yards. Jarius Jackson has completed 4 of his last 5 passes.
And Latif Krim has 3 receptions, Billy, from breaking Jake Hofert's school record of 69 set in 1997. He's 94 yards short from breaking Dietrich Jell's school record of 1,091 yards set in 92 for a season.
Here's the kickoff by Notre Dame, fielded at the Panther 2 by Cox. Cox out left at the 10-15, cuts to the 20, still on his feet, 25, spins at the 30 and is downed at the 32-yard line. Let's go to Paul Pish on the sideline. Paul?
Guys, I'm with quarterback Pete Gonzalez. Pete, is this reminiscent of the game 2 years ago against Miami?
Oh, it is. This is greater, though. This is more electrifying out here. I mean, we have great players coming back, and it's the last day of the stadium, and the crowd is a sold-out stadium against Notre Dame. It's a much great atmosphere, and I think it's wonderful.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it. Back to you guys.
Well, Paul, just tell Pete that he does a mean mambo, and so does Mom Velma, and so does his fiancee, Mandy Kirby. They wowed him at the Steeler Fashion Show on Thursday night at the Hilton. First and 10 from the Panther 31. Panthers lead 27-24. The give is to the tailback Barlow, and he has to fall forward for a yard as contact was made early on that run by linebacker Anthony Denman, and the Panthers have a 2nd and 9 from the 32-yard line. 27-24, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter. At the end of the third quarter and heading into the final quarter ever at Pitt Stadium, the score, the University of Pittsburgh 27, Notre Dame 24. You're listening to University of Pittsburgh football.
Believe it or not, there are still some people who don't play all 3 Pennsylvania Lottery daily games. You know, Daily Number, Big 4, and Cash 5. Like Walt here from Hershey. What's up with that, Walt?
Triskophobia.
Oh, fear the number 3?
Oh, I'm afraid so.
But, Walt, there's nothing to be afraid of. Just play your daily games one at a time. Play the Daily Number in the morning. Big
516 William Penn Place, Pittsburgh, PA, 15222. Fans with internet access may log on to www.newpittsburghstadium.com. And for those of you that don't live in Pittsburgh, that's Pittsburgh with an H. www.newpittsburghstadium.com.
We don't spell it like the people in Kansas.
Correct. And they have a fine football program out there, Pittsburgh State, the Gorillas. When I was out in Kansas City scouting for the Chiefs, I saw many games out there. One of the fine running backs, Ron Moore, who was drafted very high in that draft, was a member of the Gorillas. But the Pittsburgh Panthers is what we're talking about here. And as you said, Billy, the fourth quarter just about to get started here. The last quarter in the history of this Pitt Stadium.
Well, let's find out the number of games played here, multiplied by 4. But then there were a couple of overtimes, so it's easy to lose track of how many quarters of football this will culminate and wrap up.
And you always talk about the fourth quarter, the quarter that you want to win. When you exercise, when you have the preseason workouts, you always talk about the fourth quarter program. This is where games are won and lost.
Panthers 2nd and 9 at their own 32-yard line starting the fourth quarter. Play action fake, Terman back, throws a pass down the field, and it will be short of the mark. And there's a marker flying. There was some pushing on Lateef Grimm with Deveron Harper, and now the Irish may be victimized by a pass interference call unless they rule that Lateef Grimm pushed off, but I don't think so.
Well, what they're looking right now to see if it was a catchable ball, but obviously it's a catchable ball.
Well, it's hard to read if there's a post pattern and the man is held up by any contact.
Exactly. That's what I mean. If he's trying to get inside the defensive back to run the post pattern, if you're held up, and that's what it appears to be on the field. We'll wait for...
They've brought the ball back. Referee Steve Newman of the Big Ten will explain as he looks at the press box.
Holding on the defense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
And that was Deveron Harper again out to that side. Terman trying a little touch pass. The ball was underthrown again. Lateef Grimm trying to get inside Harper. And when he did that, Harper got his right arm out there and the official threw the flag.
Panthers lead early fourth quarter, 27-24, 1st and 10 from the 42. Big hole for the Panther running back. That's Kevin Barlow. And he kind of gets his balance a little bit disoriented as he hits the 45 and gets up to the 47. If he stays on his feet, he probably would have made a first down. But as it is, he picked up about 5 yards.
Well, through 3 quarters, Billy, amazing time of possession. Notre Dame almost 6 minutes better than the Panthers, and they've run 10 more offensive plays, but the Panthers are on top on the scoreboard, 27-24.
2nd and 5, Panthers from their 47. Terman back. He wants to throw it long. Now he scrambles right, dumps it off. With the football is the fullback, and that's a first down for the Panthers. No, that's not the fullback. That's Kevin Barlow, who belted his way to a first down across midfield to the 47 of the Irish. Tackled by Antoine Jones, and that's Barlow's 235 going up against Jones' 290, and Barlow won that battle.
Well, I like the way John Terman is running the offense right now. He was trying to get Lateef Grimm on the speed cut out, a 10 to 12 yard out. He was open, but he got pressure. And when he got pressure, Terman stepped up in the pocket, and instead of trying to run the football, he saw the big guy Barlow out there, dumped in the ball on the flank, and Barlow picked up the first down.
Got 6 yards to the Notre Dame 47. And Barlow off the right side is going to find stiff resistance and get about a half yard. Let's go to the sideline and Paul Pish.
Guys, I figure it wouldn't be a final broadcast from Pitt Stadium without a word from the 12th man, so I took an honorary member. His name is Mike Lally from New Kensington. Michael, your favorite moment here at Pitt Stadium?
Well, you know what, Paul? There have been plenty of great moments here at Pitt Stadium. I'm going to choose one that happened here when I was actually a student. That'd have to be the 1997 game against Miami, where they came in nationally ranked, and we beat them on Thursday night on ESPN, and we tore the goalpost down.
They know how to pick them, guys. Back to you.
The New Year's Eve. We did the town. Okay, 2nd and 8 at the 45. Thurman, play action fake. He's back. He has time. He fires. The pass is complete. Tight coverage. Nope, it is incomplete. Not holding on is the Panther receiver, Lateef Grimm. Clifford Jefferson credited with a hit that parted Grimm loose from the football. It's 3rd and 8.
Well, John Thurman on a semi-roll trying to get Lateef Grimm now to the wide side of the field. Lateef was wide open. John just a little late getting that football to him. Lateef had to come back for the football a little bit, and Jefferson very, very, very close to being pass interference, but Lateef looking up like, you know what? I should have caught the football. Even though the ball was underthrown, even though it was late to that side, I'm a great receiver. I got to come up with those. The ball drops incomplete. The Panthers now a big 3rd down.
3rd and 9 at the 40, we'll call it the 6-yard line, 46-yard line. Thurman under center. 4-man rush. He's back. He steps up. He fires a sideline pattern. It's too far. Intended at the 16-yard line, and a late flag. Lateef Grimm is bumped by Clifford Jefferson again. And the Panthers are going to get a 1st down and a 15-yard call.
Well, Billy, I didn't see it downfield, but that looked like a very questionable call. The Panthers will take it, and that may make up for the one prior to that. That should have been a pass interference call. But I'm telling you right now, unless there was contact 10 to 15 yards down the field, that is a very tough call to go against the Fighting Irish.
Grimm trying to get around his man. You know what?
Well, Billy,
it was a bit of face guarding. He didn't go up in his face, but he kept running into him.
Nope. You know what it was, Billy? Number 15 again, Jefferson. What he did is he got his left arm on Lateef as he was going for the football, and because he caused contact, even though it was not much, you'll see the great defensive backs get away with that. They'll try and strip that left arm, or put that left arm out there to try and strip the receiver's right arm. The official was right there and threw the flag. Not a big bump, but enough for the flag.
15-yard penalty to the 31 of Notre Dame. The Panthers leading 27-24, 13-12 remaining. The give is to the tailback, and that is Nick Goings, and he finds a crack and gets inside the 30 and down to the 25-yard line for about 6 yards. Boy, Nick Goings has that quick 2 steps. I mean,
You see that, Billy? He gets his butt real low, his shoulder pads low. He hesitates, just waiting for a crease. And as you say, and he takes it right up in there. Nick Goings is a different type of a back than Kevin Barlow. It's a nice switch up. And when you get Torrey Cox in the mix, you got 3 distinctively different tailbacks for the Panthers.
That was the 6-yard gain. It sets up a 2nd and a long 4 just outside the 25.
And what you want to do here is if you're going to run the football, hold on to the football.
12 and a half minutes left. Notre Dame shows blitz. The give is to Goings. Goings with a cutback gets the 1st down to the 20-yard line. And I tell you what, Nick Goings runs to daylight.
Great piece of running that time by Nick Goings. A nice block by the fullback, Fiola. But Nick Goings about a yard past the line of scrimmage. Looked like he was going to be stopped. But he cut it back, Billy. And as you said, he ran the daylight. He's a nice instinctive runner. But more importantly, he knew where the 1st down marker was. Poor and lean. Picked up the 1st down right in the teeth of that Notre Dame defense.
This drive started at the Panther 31. The Panthers have a 1st and 10 at the Notre Dame 20. Back is Thurman. He has time. He fires for the goal line. It is a diving attempt in the end zone, and they call it incomplete. Lateef Grimm thought he had it long enough, but when he hit the ground, the ball wasn't in his hands, and it's incomplete. He had the corner beaten badly.
Coach Harris, boy, the gunslinger now. He's throwing everything at him. On 1st down, Lateef Grimm, again, cut a split down. Man-to-man coverage. He was covered pretty good by number 15, but a nice call by that official down there. Lateef Grimm did come up with the catch initially, but when he was coming down, he dropped the football right in front of the official and in front of the DB, Clifford Jefferson.
2nd down, 10, the Panthers at the Notre Dame 20-yard line. The Panthers leading by 3. Notre Dame shows blitz, and here they come. Panthers touch pass for the end zone. It's incomplete. One hand on the football, diving for it in the end zone by Antonio Bryant. He had gotten around both Harper and Sanders, but the pass was slightly overthrown. It's 3rd and 10.
As you get closer to the line of scrimmage, it's more difficult to complete pass plays. The Panthers are slinging the ball down there instead of running. That time, Antonio Bryant had man-to-man coverage underneath, but the free safety was coming over Sanders. A nice job of Terman trying to touch past that ball in there. Another inch shorter. And that's 6 points on a diving catch by Bryant.
Do you throw it here? Do you run it and try to set the field goal up? They look like they're going to throw, and Notre Dame looks like they're going to blitz. Terman is back, and here they come. Pocket formed. He's going to be hit. He's going to be spun off his feet and down at the 22-yard line. He lost 2 yards on that play, and this field goal try now will be about 39 yards.
Well, at least he didn't throw an incompletion. You get a chance to kick the field goal. They were in man-to-man coverage. Notre Dame came with an all-out blitz. Terman stepped up in the pocket. They had Lateef Grimm, but he wouldn't have picked up the first down either. On the wide side of the field, Antonio Bryant coming to the sideline saying, man, I was wide open. Terman just could not find him.
McMullen to snap. Stein to hold. Lotz with the angle right to left. A 39-yard field goal attempt, and now there is movement, and there are flags flying. And did Notre Dame encroach, or did the Panthers draw them off?
Well, Notre Dame jumped a little bit, but I think the Panthers' front wall on the left side may have been Downey. Lurched forward a little bit, and they're going to take him back.
Referee Steve Newman.
Prior to the snap, ball start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Now the field goal try will be 44 yards.
Billy, if the Panthers are trying to be a poker face and trying to get an offside so they got more room to throw the football in a fake, they're going to roll the dice.
Looks like the right end is offside for Notre Dame. Here's the ball down. The kick by Lotz is on its way. That kick has height. It's got elevation. It's got the distance. And that 44-yard field goal extends the Panther lead in the 4th quarter to 6 points.
Well, Nick Lotz having a career day. The Panthers right now selling for field goals instead of touchdowns. A touchdown may put this game out of reach, but nonetheless, Nick Lotz, a 44-yarder, and the Panthers extend their lead to 6.
Now Lotz is 13 of 17 on the season. With a score of the Panthers 30, Notre Dame 24. You're listening to University of Pittsburgh football.
68% of home fires occur after business hours, as do 48% of burglaries and 62% of car accidents. That's why we offer State Farm's 24-hour Good Neighbor service, so you can call participating agents' offices anytime, day or night, to file a claim, ask a question, and get the help you need.
Hello, State Farm's Good Neighbor service. This is Dan. How may I help you today?
Sure, it's a service many of our policyholders may never need, but it's also one most of them wouldn't want to be without.
Their heroics are legendary.
Sergio swings. There goes a long drive high, and you can kiss it goodbye.
Plays frozen in memory and time.
The Penguins have won the Stanley Cup.
Moments that live on in the hearts of fans young and old alike.
And the Steelers score in sensational fashion.
Duquesne Light is proud to team with the players, their coaches, and the fans who spur them on.
The ball game is over, and the Pirates have won the National League Eastern Division Championship.
More power to you from Duquesne Light.
Nick Lotz with a career field goal, and this is the highest attendance at Pitt Stadium since the 1983 Pitt-Penn State game, when the Panthers and the Lions drew 60,283. Tonight, the Panthers and the Irish draw 60,190, the 8th largest crowd in the stadium's history. In 1938, that Panther-Fordham game remains the record with 68,918 in attendance. That will never happen again for 2 reasons. Number one, they had bleachers erected as temporary seats, which are now considered illegal. And number two, this will be a basketball facility in 2 years.
Well, I wasn't at that 1938 game, and you broadcast a lot of games, and neither were you, but I find hard to believe that that game was any louder than the 60,000 are throwing out there tonight.
Let's hope Lotz doesn't have to make this tackle. It's a short kickoff. Fielded at the 14. By Notre Dame's Julius Jones, trying the right side at the 20, cuts it back at the 25, is hit and knocked down at the 26-yard line. Good job by Seth Hornak, playing his final game here at Pitt Stadium. The senior from Burl at 5'11", 195.
That scoring drive for the Panthers, 11 plays, 42 yards, covering 4 minutes and 29 seconds. Now the Panthers D, once again, need them to come up big.
69 yards in 11 plays?
42 yards in 11 plays. I don't know that's what they gave me.
Oh, field goal. That's right.
Yep.
What am I thinking?
Yep.
I'm losing my mind.
You're getting caught up in the moment.
Not much to lose. 1st and 10. Notre Dame from their own 26. 10:53 to go. Notre Dame trailing by 6 points. 2 tight ends. Jackson, play action fake. He's back, throws the out pattern left. It's wide open, and the pass is complete for the first down to the 40-yard line to Joey Goodspeed, the fullback. The senior from Montgomery, Illinois, was completely unchecked as he came out of the backfield. Walker and Poteet make the tackle.
Well, again, the running game of the Fighting Irish set that play up. A very nice play action fake by Jarius Jackson. He's got terrific ball handling skills. Really made the linebacker for the Panthers to that side settle. And as you said, the fullback, Goodspeed, was wide open. That's the second time the Fighting Irish has run that particular play, and both times the fullback ran free down the sideline.
16-yard gain out to the 42. It's 1st and 10, Notre Dame. They trail by 6. 2 tight ends again. They fake the pitch. Rolling right is Jackson. He looks. He has time. He fires it down the field. There's jostling for position. Notre Dame has completed the pass at the 23-yard line. Tight end Dan O'Leary muscled his way with Seth Hornack and won that jump for the basketball.
The same thing happened against Virginia Tech and Miami. When you have a big tight end, it's very difficult for Seth Hornack to get around him to make a play. He was in great coverage. He's just too small. Dan O'Leary, 6'4", 259. Seth Hornack, 5'11", and that's stretching it, 195. Dan O'Leary just boxed him out and came up with the catch.
O'Leary, a 35-yard reception, his longest of the year. Notre Dame in business, down by 6, 1st and 10 at the Panther 23. They go slot left. Ball between the hash marks. And the deep give is to Fisher. Or no, that's, Fisher. And he is stood up at the line of scrimmage. He may have gotten a half yard. Seth Hornack with a square-up tackle at the 22-yard line.
And if you're just joining us, we have a couple scores that are unbelievable from around the country. First in the Big East, Boston College over West Virginia, 34-17. In overtime, Rutgers upset Syracuse, 24-21. Also, Ohio State getting blown out by Illinois, 46-20. Michigan beats Penn State, 31-27. And Tennessee, the third-ranked team in the country, they lose to Arkansas, 28-24.
Clock winds in the fourth quarter to 9:37. Notre Dame trailing 30-24, 2nd and 8 at the Panther 21. And this time a play-action fake, scrambling, and going down at the 21-yard line is Jarius Jackson. A good job by Ken Cashabera, 50-year senior defensive end from Newcastle, to stay with his man, and he did it with one arm.
Well, Notre Dame went to the play action, and they were looking for Joey Getherall coming across the field, but Ramon Walker in man-to-man coverage stood his ground out there in the secondary. And again, give credit to Ken Cashabera for putting pressure on Jarius Jackson, not allowing him to step up in the pocket to throw that football.
Panthers make 6 defensive changes. 3rd down and 8, Notre Dame at the Panther 31. Notre Dame with 4 wideouts and a shotgun. They go 2 left and 2 right, and Jarius Jackson has a sidecar in Tony Fisher to his right. On 3rd and 8, the crowd gets into it. Here's a direct snap. Jackson back. Throws for the end zone. Right sideline. Jump ball. It's caught at the goal line.
No,
incomplete at the goal line. Leaping for it was Bobby Brown, and going up with him to get a piece of the ball was Rob Butler and Mark Ponko. The field goal unit is on for Notre Dame.
Well, not a very good throw by Jarius Jackson. He just chucked the ball up there. The Panthers were in man coverage underneath, zone over top. Rob Butler, again, not making the play, actually overran the play. And if it wasn't for Mark Ponko coming off the hash to knock Bobby Brown off balance and come up with that big hit, that would have been 6 points for Notre Dame.
38-yard field goal for the Irish. Jim Sampson in this range is 2 for 4 on the year. Caputo to hold, Morgan snapping. Here's the snap. It's down. The kick is on its way. That kick with a marker down is up and good, as the Panthers appeared to be offside.
Well, the only problem is now, Billy, if they're offsides, if Notre Dame takes it, that puts them 4th and 3. Now, you always say on the road, you do not like to take points off the board, but Bob Davie may elect to go for it on 4th down.
Defense. Penalties declined. Field goals good.
All right. Well, Bob Davie holds true. You don't like to take points off the board on the road.
38-yard field goal is in the books. And with the score, the Panthers 30, the Irish 27. It's a nail-biter, and you're listening to University of Pittsburgh football.
If you want Want to get a better read on Pittsburgh? Get it from the people who live it.
Writing in Pittsburgh is great because this is a sports town. I think my attitude in my writing is like the way Darius Kasparaitis plays hockey, hard-hitting.
Meet Joe Starkey, Penguins writer for the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review, the paper that's fast becoming Pittsburgh's preferred paper because of writers like Joe and outdoors writer Jim Yadamat.
People in the Pittsburgh area born to hunt and fish. I think it's passed down. They love to do it, and I love talking to them about it.
The Pittsburgh Trib is edgy, not afraid to take chances. It pulls no punches. It's a paper that features sports writer Joanne Harrop.
I cover sports from a fan's perspective. I was born here, grew up here, and there's nothing like a Pittsburgh sports fan.
Get a better read on Pittsburgh. Pick up a copy of the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review or call 1-800-909-TRIB today.
Jarius Jackson is 6 for 8 in the passing department in his last 8 efforts. Overall, he's 17 for 29 for 260 yards. And on that little ditty, he set up the field goal by Sanson to close this to a 3-point game. The Irish trail 30-27. Panther fans say thanks to the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review. For a better read on local pro, college, and high school sports, turn to the Tribune-Review. If you subscribe now, you can get the Weekend Plus package Thursday through Sunday delivered to your home for 1 full year. It's now only $9.99. Call 1-800-909-TRIB today. And to Duquesne Light, more power to you. So the public address announcer, Don Ireland, is announcing to the crowd that this is indeed the 8th largest crowd in the history of the stadium, 60,190. Notre Dame marching the ball down the field. They get a 16-yard pass play to the fullback Godspeed, a 35-yard pass play to the tight end O'Leary, and then Ponko with a great play on a 3rd and 8. Makes it a field goal. It's a pooch kickoff. The Panthers take it at their own 31, and with the football, the up man spins, still on his feet, is spun off his feet as he falls forward to the 39-yard line. And there is activity all around the football, bodies colliding, and the up man did a great job because he did not call for the fair catch. That was Brandon Williams, the young sophomore from Valley High School. You just don't want to see a fumble in that instance, but there was none, and so the Panthers have relatively good field position following that pooch kickoff at their own 39-yard line. 8:24 remaining. The Panthers have got to move the football, sitting on a 3-point lead. You got to try to get more points. Motion by the slot man Grimm. Against it, the give is to the tailback, and that is Nick Goings, and the hole closes quickly, but he comes up over the 40 to the 43-yard line, and the clock winds to 8:13. The Panthers leading 30-27.
Well, that's the 4th straight series the Panthers have started the series with a running play. Coach Harris trying to establish the run. Number one, maybe be a little conservative, but you don't want to make that quarterback do anything stupid back there. And number 3, wind clock.
Panthers go slot right. 2nd and 6 at their 43. Notre Dame showing blitz. But the give is to Nick Goings, and he sidesteps the blitzer and comes up to the 45, falls to the 46-yard line. For 3, it'll be 3rd and 3. Johnny Sanders, the strong safety, stood his ground and made the stop as the ball got just across the 45-yard line. And it'll be 3rd down, a long 4.
Now, see, Notre Dame likes to blitz on 3rd down situation, but this is not really a blitzable down and distance, so to speak, because the blitz adjustments would pick up the 1st down. When it's 3rd and long and you blitz and you make a blitz adjustment, a lot of times, unless you're moving, it's not enough for the 1st down. We'll see what Notre Dame decides here.
3rd and almost 4. Now they'll stop the clock at 7:14 as a timeout is called, apparently. It's Notre Dame calling the timeout, their first of the second half. They have 2 remaining. The Panthers have their full complement of timeouts in the pocket. With the score, the Panthers 37, Notre Dame 27, 7:14 to go in Pitt Stadium history. You're listening to University of Pittsburgh football.
Today's the day of the big game. You're outside the stadium at a tailgate party. You've been hitting on this one babe now for about 20 minutes, and you think you're making good time. This chick is digging on you. Or is she?
Here, try a straw.
Man, you've been asking for it.
Hey, thanks.
With a playful grin, she watches you open it. The honestly fresh taste of straw beer, made with pure mountain spring water. No sugars, syrups, or preservatives added.
Hey, where the am I?
Hi, this is Mike Pinsack. A lot of dirty, sweaty Panther football players can wreak havoc in the showers after a game. But no one really worries because the showers are sprayed after each game with Austin's Wipe Away Shower Cleaner. And now you can use it at home. Just pick up a bottle of Austin's Wipe Away Daily Shower Spray at your favorite store. If it works for the Panthers, it will surely work for your home team. Austin's Wipe Away Daily Shower Spray. I use it, the Panthers use it, and you should too.
Well, the fans are waving goodbye to Pitt Stadium. We got the wave going for this capacity crowd of 60,000 plus. 30-27, Panthers lead the Irish with 7:14 to go. The Irish have just called a timeout as the Panthers face a critical 3rd and a long 3 situation at their own 46. John Turman, the junior quarterback from Walnut Creek, California, a junior college transfer at 6'4", 215, checking with the Panther sideline before ready for play is given. And he goes back to the huddle. Now he returns to the sideline for one last little communication with head coach Walt Harris in his 3rd season. Walt Harris getting this Panther program slowly turned in the upward direction. A 4-5 record, a lead late in this ball game, but a lead is only that. Notre Dame shows blitz. 3rd and a long 3. Turman is back. He's going to throw. Here's the blitz. The pass to the out is broken up at the 48-yard line of the Irish by a Johnny Sanders who stepped in front of Lateef Grimm and knocked that pass away. And a Notre Dame player, no, a Panther player is shaken up.
Well, John Turman's got to get that football out there in a big hurry to Lateef Grimm. Lateef once again wide open. John just underthrew him and also threw the ball late, and that allowed Sanders to break on the football and come up with that. He didn't really knock the ball down, but he caused Lateef to have to come back for the football. A nice big collision caused the incompletion. Now the Panther punt team back on the field.
Redshirt freshman guard Kiawatha Downey, 6'4", 295 from Charlotte, North Carolina, limps off the field as the Panther punt team gets ready to try to execute. Julius Jones is the deep man standing at the Notre Dame 15. The line of scrimmage, the Panther 46, Greg DeBolt, awaiting John Parker's long snap. Both seniors, by the way. Here's the snap. It's a good one. And DeBolt gets the punt out of there. Looking up into the lights and taking it. And now a marker is down. Why did they have the marker down at the 16-yard line as Julius Jones pulled it in? A Panther was close to him. They're going to rule that he was inside the 2 steps. Demetrius Rich got there apparently early.
Well, it looks
this
like
official on this sideline throwing these flags has made more incorrect decisions tonight than I have seen one official do in a lot of ball games.
Well, Billy,
he's flag happy.
That's interference. Violation of the 2-yard belt on the kicking team.
Well,
5-yard penalty, 1st down.
The most amazing part of it is that he had the flag out of his pocket before Demetrius even got down there. You'll see the flag come out of the pocket.
I don't think it was a good call.
Well, it was awful close, that's for sure.
Because he put the brakes on and tried to stay out of there, and he didn't rough him up. And it was ticky-tacky. Fullback dive with the football, and being roughed up is Joey Goodspeed. I mean, somebody slammed him to the turf as he got about a yard and a half. Gerald Hayes came up and made that real physical play at the 22-yard line.
Gerald Hayes came up and picked him up off his feet. Now the Panther is getting victimized time and time again after a play when they're on the field. Their defense now has to come up big here and get the ball back to the offense. And we'll talk about that offense in a second.
30-27 Panthers, 6.5 to go. The Irish 2nd and 9 at their 23. They go receivers to both sides, offset backfield. Play action fake. Back is Jarius Jackson. Throws a pass. It is caught. Leaping grab at the 30, 35, and down at the 37 is Bobby Brown. The first defender missed him, and finally Rob Butler has to make the tackle, but it is a 1st down for the Irish.
A great catch by Bobby Brown again on that stop route. I think what Notre Dame is thinking is that the Panthers are going to blitz, so what they're going to do is they're going to sit in there, go maximum protection. Instead of go for the bomb, we're going to just work the comeback route. And Ramon, I don't know what Rob Butler was looking at because he jumped in the air. Fortunately for the Panthers, they had another DB down there to come up with that tackle. But Bobby Brown would have went for 6.
The Panthers make 5 changes. Jarius Jackson now shotgun. Panthers show blitz. 1st and 10 at the Notre Dame 37. Jackson back. Has time. Throws it down the field. And a interception. Here comes the Panthers with the football. Scott McCurley is at the 50, the 45, and he's down at the 44-yard line. Ramon Walker blasted Joey Getherall. The ball popped in the air, and we're going the other way.
The hitman, Ramon Walker, coming up once again, sitting back there in center field, coming off the hash. Jarius Jackson eyeing up Getherall the entire time, looking at him the entire time, giving Ramon Walker the opportunity to break on the football as Getherall comes over. Ramon Walker laid the knockout shot. The ball bounced in the air, and Scott McCurley with the interception. The Panthers offense back on the field.
5:48 to go. The Panthers lead it 30-27. This stadium is on fire. The give straight ahead to Kevin Barlow, and he grinds inside the 40 and down to the 38-yard line.
And the offensive line is fired up, and that's what you like to see. And Billy, going back to John Turman, as I talked about, he has to elevate his game here in the second half. And why the Panthers are only up by 3, he's only 2 of his last 9 for 34 yards. He's got to be comfortable with the football. He's got to run this offense, but he's got to make plays in this situation if the Panthers are going to be successful here tonight.
Panthers trying to milk the clock. Huddle clock to 10, game clock 5:12. Second along 5 at the 38 of Notre Dame. They blitz. The give is to Barlow, and Barlow grinds for about a yard to the 37-yard line. Bringing up 3rd down, the clock winds to 4:56. Tackle made by Rocky Boyman, outside linebacker, and strong safety Johnny Sanders. 3rd down and 4, and a big one for the Panthers.
The Panthers leading the Irish with 4 minutes and 41 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter. In the last game ever at Pitt Stadium, it looks like John Turman, the quarterback for the Panthers, has just called a timeout.
The Panthers stop the clock with 4:40 to go with their first timeout. Panthers lead it 30-27 with 4:40 to go, but a big 3rd down and long 4 situation for the Panther offense. And you hear the crowd, and they are buzzing.
They are buzzing, Billy, and you know, there's a lot of things going on here. Again, senior night, Letterman's banquet last night, all the great players that are here. A terrific halftime show. I mean, it was just special to be a part of it. And I'll tell you what, this has been one of the most exciting games that I've had the chance to broadcast here, and that includes that Miami game. There's still a lot of time here for the ending, the final script to be written here at Pitt Stadium, but what a whale of a football game. The crowd's been in it from the start, and a terrific night here in the city of Pittsburgh.
Panther tailback has got 100 yards. Goings is 64 yards on 13 carries. Barlow, 42 yards on 13 carries. But can you get it here? Notre Dame is going to try to say no. And the Panthers are going to try to advance the sticks because there's a lot of time left.
There is.
4:40 remaining.
Plenty of time.
It's only a 3-point ball game. Notre Dame has been involved in last-minute activities on several occasions in this 99 season. I think coming in, they had been involved in 4 last-minute of the game decisions.
Including not last week's game, but the week prior versus Navy. And that's what happens when you have a veteran quarterback back there. Jarius Jackson, 6'1", 235, a senior. So it's up to the Panther offense not to give that quarterback an opportunity to win the football game. If you're up by 10 points or 2 touchdowns, obviously you have a big cushion there. You do not want to turn the ball over here. You want to continue to drive the clock down, but more importantly, you want to pick up a first down here and hopefully come away with points, because now Coach Harris is going to have a decision if the Panthers don't pick up the first down here.
3rd down 4. The Panthers after the interception at the 37 of Notre Dame. The Irish show blitz. Turman under center. Turman, the junior, is back. He looks. He throws a pass. Complete first down to the 29-yard line. Latif Grimm is tackled by Clifford Jefferson. He tried to strip the ball, but Grimm said, "My ball."
The Panthers went maximum protection up front. Notre Dame came with the blitz. They put Clifford Jefferson out there on Latif Grimm, and Latif Grimm basically just worked him downfield. He threatened like he was going to go deep. Clifford Jefferson flipped and ran, and Lateef Grimm sat it down, and John Turman threw a strike. But again, that play was set up by the protection up front, picking up the blitz by Notre Dame, including the fullback Fiola, and Turman stepped up in the pocket and threw a strike.
8 yards on a 3rd and 4. Clock is at 4:11. The Panthers 1st and 10 at the ND 29. The give is to the tailback, and that's Barlow, and he fights his way down to the 27 for 2 yards. He did a little dip to the outside, but coming up to make the tackle is Deke Cooper, and had defensive end help from Lamont Bryant, and the ball is spotted at the 26. It's 2nd down and 7. The clock winds to 3:49. The Panthers lead 30-27.
And Kevin Barlow last year or the year before would have tried to outrun him to the corner, but he's learned you can't do that in Division I. Get your shoulders square and just push the pile and hold on to the football.
Bryant wide right. Grimm in the slot to the wide side. Grimm goes in motion to the left to balance. The turn by Turman and the give to Barlow. And Barlow knifes in there to the 22-yard line for about 4 yards, setting up a 3rd and let's say 3. Anthony Denman is credited with a stop for Notre Dame.
A score to report: Alabama beats Mississippi State 19-7. So Jackie, undefeated season down there. Jackie Sherrill, former Panther coach, comes to a close. But now here, Bill, look what the spot, Billy, they gave him. I thought he was a little closer to the first down marker. It's 3rd and 3. A down and distance here. You can pretty much do anything. Obviously, you do not want to turn the ball over.
Clock is at 2:55 and winding. Panthers lead by 3. Turman. Long count. Turns and gives to Barlow. Barlow's got the first down. Barlow driving. And down to the 10-yard line. Kevin Barlow needed 3. He got 12. And this crowd is delirious.
The big man, Kevin Barlow, says, "Come with me, baby." What happened again? Notre Dame had 8-9 men in the box. What happens? It's feast or famine. You either stop the running back at the line of scrimmage. If not, you bounce it to the outside. There's no linebackers there. There's only safety men because the linebackers are down at the line of scrimmage trying to fill gaps. That's what happened there. A terrific job by the offensive front 5, including the tight ends Ben Kopp and McMullen, and the fullback Fiola, and Barlow did the rest.
1st and 10 at the 12 after Barlow's 10-yard run. Barlow again. He is hit at the line of scrimmage and knocked down. He didn't get much at all, but the clock winds to 2:14, and now Notre Dame has to stop it. With 2:14 to go, they call their 2nd timeout, and this is adrenaline plus.
Billy, I need an aspirin. I think I'm going to go in a coronary arrest right now.
No, don't tell me that.
Holy mackerel.
I didn't take a CPR class recently.
Holy mackerel. Are you talking about emotional? Notre Dame fans are on their behind, should I say. They are totally shell-shocked. The entire student section is fired up here. They haven't sat down the entire ball game. We have part of the stands here now starting to stand. 2 minutes, 14 seconds. If the Panthers score here, what I mean by score is a touchdown. But more importantly, you want to, A, run the football between the tackles. If you throw the ball, that's fine if you score 6 points. But you want to run the ball between the tackles. You want to make sure you give your field goal kicker a chance if you need him. Number 2, you want to wind clock. And number 3, most importantly, you do not want to have a turnover. You want to hold on to the football with both hands as you go through the pile, because if you're Bob Davie on the other sideline, you're telling his defensive front, stand them up, strip the football, we need a big play.
Here come the Panthers with a couple of changes. Into the lineup is Nick Goings at tailback. Antonio Bryant is a late arrival on the field. He and Grimm are in that lineup.
And Billy, I'm looking down in the Panthers end zone. Craig Ironhead Hayward is on the field leading the charge, trying to get the fans fired up.
2nd and 8 at the 10. The clock at 2:14, stopped by the timeout. We'll start on the snap. The give is to Goings, and Goings knifes in there and a hard hit at the 8-yard line. He picked up 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 6. Tyree O'Harris, the middle backer, knocks him off his feet at 2:07, and Notre Dame expends its 3rd and final timeout.
Well, now what happens, you got Coach Harris, who is in a chess match right here. A big decision to make, because if you elect to pass the football and it's incomplete, the clock stops. If you run the football and don't pick up the first down, the clock will continue to run, but then you have to put your field goal unit out there, obviously kick the field goal, but, and I do say but, that leaves the door wide open because a touchdown Can beat you, but not a field goal.
Let me be devil's advocate
Okay, please.
and ask you the
I want you to
negative
be
question.
All right, go ahead.
Are you in 4-down situation here?
I think not, because you want to take a field goal away from the Fighting Irish.
Correct.
You have to kick it. You have to kick a field goal here to make them score 6 and then the extra point.
Right.
That's my opinion. Whether that'll happen.
Well,
now if you're 4th and short, Billy, and you got 56,000 on your feet, and you're 4th and inches, roll the dice, but then you still have to go 99 yards.
Do me a favor.
Go ahead.
Get me to that position.
I'm with you. Put me a uniform on. I want to go down there right now. Can we get down there?
30-27.
Holy mackerel.
Panthers have the 3-point lead with 2:07 left. Third down and 6 at the 8-yard line. Now the Panthers, multiple changes as they usher the proper personnel in for the formation and the play call. And this crowd is enjoying it.
Oh, that's an understatement, and this broadcast crew is enjoying it as well.
Panthers go slot left, the ball between the hash marks. High formation on 3rd and 6 from the 8. Turman turns and gives it to his tailback, and knifing down there for the first down at the 1-yard line is Kevin Barlow. How about that big run? Wow!
Billy, they stopped the clock because he picked up the first down. That is maybe right there one of the biggest.
Well, wait a minute. They're not going to give him the first down. They got him down outside the 1, almost at the 2.
Holy
and it's
mackerel.
close enough that they measure now. You got me to this position. You make the decision, 4th and inches.
Billy, you got to
Wait a
go
minute.
for it. Quarterback sneak. Let's see what happens. Drum roll, please.
Let's see how close it is.
Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. First down. Now.
2 minutes left.
Now you hold on to the football. You run between the tackles, and that right there may have been one of the top 5 runs in Pitt Stadium history, because it's at the end of the game. When you need a first down, you need to hold on to the football. Kevin Barlow comes through.
Does he ever? The junior from Peabody puts the Panthers in position. 1st and goal at the 2. It's a power formation. Turman turns and gives to his tailback, and we've got a Panther touchdown, and we have bedlam at Pitt Stadium. The Panthers get the handoff to Barlow, and it's lights out. The party's over.
Are you kidding me? This place is going bonkers, unless you're Notre Dame fans, who are all sitting on their feet, or on their hands, I should say. The Panthers off tackle. Kevin Barlow got hit as he bounced at the line of scrimmage, but he had enough, I guess, Billy Knight's enough vision with the Panthers to the left side, really blocked it down, and he was able to bounce it to the outside and came in untouched as he broke the last 3 yards off tackle.
All right, here's
touchdown.
where the fans can be disruptive. There is debris coming down on the field. And listen, let them finish the game and then raise all kind of get out.
That's Notre Dame
That's coming
section.
from the Notre Dame side. Well,
hey,
if they got a radio on, hey guys, if you're not listening to Tony Roberts, cut it out.
Hey, be good Catholics over there. Lose with grace. And I'm a Catholic. I can say that.
Lott's trying to camp a big night with the extra point. It's up. It's good. Great job by Stein to get the snap down. And the Panthers have a 10-point lead with 1:41 to go.
Well, it's not over yet.
No, it isn't.
But it's breathing good. It's looking good. It's looking good. And right now the Panthers are up 2 scores. So if you're Notre Dame, you need a touchdown and a field goal. If you're the Panthers, you got to decide you want to drive this ball deep and give Notre Dame a chance to return the kickoff. They've had a nice job returning kicks. Or, Billy, I even think you may want to just kick the ball out of bounds, give them the ball on the 35-yard line, and take the return out of their back pocket and force their offense to come on the field. Nick Goins now, 14 carries for 66 yards, and I think that's Kevin Barlow. 19 carries for 67 yards, and that drive took 10 plays, 44 yards, 4 minutes and 7 seconds, and that may go down as one of the greatest drives, definitely one of the most important drives in Panther history.
Listen to this crowd. They are enjoying this dramatic, this intense, this terrific moment. What a college football game. And what a gutty drive by the Panther offense as engineered by John Turman, who has shown tremendous poise tonight.
They need a tackle here on the kickoff.
Lots with a kickoff. It's on the field of play. Inside the 10, fielded at the 4-yard line by Julius Jones. Behind the wedge at the 10-15, on his feet at the 20. Blockers at the 25. He's still on his feet at the 30, spun off his feet, finds a way to get forward to the 34, and then is crunched on the sideline by several blue shirts.
I could have made it a lot easier. Kick the ball out of bounds, you still get the ball at the 35-yard line.
Notre Dame will start from its own 34, down by 10 with 1:28 to go. The Irish have no timeouts. Seth Hornack credited with that special teams tackle for the Panthers.
Well, now if you're the Panthers, you want Notre Dame to throw the ball in the middle of the field, keep them in bounds, and also, and remember in a college game, a first down, you get the clock to start, and the Panthers student section is getting ready to rush the field.
Jackson out of the shotgun. 1:28 left. He's back. He's dancing. He fires underneath. The pass is complete. Running for the sideline is Tony Fisher, and he's going to get to the 40 and be knocked out of bounds as he gets to the 45, very close to first down territory with 1:19 remaining.
Well, the Panthers went to a 3-man rush. They basically went to their very soft defense, what you call a 3 victory. You just stay as deep as the deepest wide receiver in your territory. Let them throw the ball underneath. Notre Dame picked up the first down.
No, they didn't. Now they do. Yes, they moved the sticks.
Okay.
1st and 10 at the 45. 10-yard pass play. Jarius Jackson to Tony Fisher. Shotgun again with 1:19. Notre Dame trails by 10. Panthers show blitz. They do not. 3-man rush. Jackson is back. Now he's being chased out of the pocket. Now he's going to stop. Now he's going to fire it way down the field. The pass will be incomplete or complete. It is complete at the 12-yard line to Bobby Brown. A diving catch at the 12. Rob Butler tried to deflect it, and he dove and he came up empty, and here comes Notre Dame with 1:08 left.
Hey, what a way to end the ball game. Let's get some excitement in here. Notre Dame, Jarius Jackson almost got sacked in the backfield, but found Bobby Brown deep downfield for the big completion.
43 yards, 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Jackson is back. He has time. He looks. He has all day. 3-man rush, throws underneath. The pass is complete. Tackled on the field of play at the 9 is Bobby Brown. High tackle by Kareem Thompson. A gain of 3. The clock winds to 46 seconds. Notre Dame is powerless to stop the clock. They have no timeouts. They got to get to the sideline.
And the clock down to 39, 38.
2nd and 7 from the 9. Jackson again in the shotgun. 33 seconds. He's back. He fires for the end zone, and it is off the fingertips of the receiver in the end zone. Bobby Brown got one hand on it. That stops the clock at 27 seconds. Rob Butler had coverage. It's 3rd down and 7 from the 9.
And, Bill, you see what Larry Coyer is doing. Because Demetrius Rich was getting burnt early in the ball game, he's now electing to go with a 3- and a 4-man rush and playing man underneath, but still giving the defensive back safety help over top. That time, Rob Butler, a nice job breaking that play off to Bobby Brown.
3rd down and 7 at the 9. Notre Dame on the march. Down by 10. Jackson back. Swing pass to the left. And a great tackle at the 11-yard line by Brian Beinecke. Tony Fisher didn't know what hit him. It's on the field of play. And there is a Notre Dame player shaken up.
It's him.
And if he takes a timeout here, though, there's got to be a situation where he's penalized.
There is. You get a penalty. It's a 5 or a 10-yard penalty, Billy. And the only thing I'm going to say right now is lock the doors because this place is going to go nuts. The student section has erupted onto the field. Now, we're supposed to have a post-game celebration. It may take till tomorrow morning to have that celebration because we may not be able to clear the crowd.
4th and 9 at the 11. Jackson in the shotgun back, throwing for the end zone. The pass will be broken up in the end zone, and the Panthers win the football game. It was intended for Bobby Brown and a freshman by the name of Rob Butler from Perry Traditional Academy. And the crowd is on the field, and they're going after the goalpost with 9 seconds left. And I think we've just seen the end of Pitt Stadium's illustrious history.
And Billy,
the goalposts are being shaken. The student section, the 12th man is out there. They're trying to clear the field, but this ball game is over.
It's like mice to cheese and bees the honey. It was like a magnet. They just ran directly to the goal line. And Billy, there goes one. It's going down.
And here goes the other to our left, and it's coming down.
And there's 9 seconds to go. And they may just let it run down here because
Bob Davie has shaken hands with Walt Harris. It's pointless to try to continue. For the safety of all concerned, just let history happen.
Here comes the official. I think he's going to make a call right now. Bob Davie is trying to make his way. Let's see what happens. Coach Harris is talking to the official, and here we go. They're winding the clock, Billy. Ball game. And all that hoopla about staying off the field, well, there's more people on the field than in the stands right now.
Enjoy the moment, Ozzie.
Unbelievable.
Enjoy the moment. Listen to this crowd.
And I got chills running down my spine right now. You can't say enough for that football team to come out here today and put that performance on. It's just something special. And they are a part of history. And not only are they a part of history, now they will always be remembered as the team that won the last game ever in the 75-year history of Pitt Stadium.
I'm drained. I don't know about you. This is just incredible. It's glorious. And it's over.
And the goalposts are both down. They ripped them completely apart. They're trying to get out the tunnel, and the police aren't letting them. And here come the dogs. Or I'm not sorry, not the dogs.
The horses.
The horses. A little bit bigger than a dog, and they're running.
You see the crowd respond to the horses.
Yeah. They dropped and ran. They had the goalpost, and they dropped and ran. They are not stupid, but I'll tell you what, Billy. If I can just take a moment here, Billy, to thank you for everything that you've done for this program. And you've seen in a lot of games here at Pitt Stadium. And if I can just take a moment, people don't realize this, but in our booth right here, amongst all our crew, there's a plaque hanging right above us, and it has your picture on it. And it basically says the football alumni of the University of Pittsburgh are proud and pleased to honor Bill Hillgrove for his quarter-of-a-century dedication to the Panthers. He has not only been the voice of the Panthers, but also a tried and true friend of those who have worn the blue and gold on the gridiron. His personality, loyalty, sense of humor, and professionalism have earned our everlasting respect, appreciation, and affection. Thank you, Bill. And from Billy, from all Panther fans, from all us alumni, all us Lettermen, the last game ever at Pitt Stadium, you're the best. We love you, and thanks for everything.
Who is that guy?
That's a young Bill Hillgrove.
Oh, I didn't recognize him. Wow. Just drink it up.
Unbelievable.
Take it in. Savor it.
It doesn't get much better than this. It does not. And you think about the great ones that played on here, Billy. Just so you know, in the 80s, you got a million of them. Dorsett, Hugh Green, Dorsett played in the 70s. Dan Marino, Ditka, this goes all the way back. I heard Marty Schottenheimer talking about it on ESPN radio on Thursday, talking about, about Pitt Stadium, about the new stadium. And he was kind of cracking in his voice talking about it. It means a lot to a lot of people. But just savor the moment.
Thanks for carrying me, Ozzie, because I'm emotional mush right now.
Well, if I can add to that, Walt Bielik at yesterday's Letterman's dinner, I hope they had that thing taped, because that may have been one of the best 5-minute, 10-minute speeches about the history of Pitt Stadium, Pitt football, and Letterman that I have ever heard in my life.
Turn it into a recruiting tool.
Yes.
Just make it a video.
Yep. And I'm emotional, and I know you are too, Billy, but talking about writing a script, there is not a director in Hollywood that could have written a better script than tonight's ball game.
The crowd is on the field. There is a section of goalposts being carried by the students through that crowd, but I'm sure as it approaches any portal to try to get that goalpost out of here, that the gendarmes aboard the horses will say, let's take it back inside, gentlemen, ladies. This is a great moment. Let's enjoy it. I'll tell you what, Ozzie, for the last couple of weeks, I've been interviewed a couple of times by TV and radio and print people, and they say to me, what was your favorite moment at Pitt Stadium? It's hard to come up with it.
Right.
So many good ones. Now I can answer that question quite easily. There it is.
37-27, the Panthers over Notre Dame, and they're walking the guys back out to the tunnel. Actually, they're showing some highlights on the field, but they're trying to clear the field because they're having a special post-game ceremony. And Billy, they're ripping up the turf. Now you're getting a little out of hand here, guys. They still got to practice on that field, but I guess after a W, you'll take it, but they still got to practice out here.
Yep, they're tearing turf up, and that is not good because Walt Harris and the Panthers have to practice on this turf, getting ready to play on the turf at West Virginia to close down the regular season. And now they've got the turf up, and they're tugging on it, and that's not good. Yep, and they're getting pleas from announcer Don Ireland, public address announcer, saying, please do not tear up the turf.
Well, Billy, I'm trying to think of words here, but maybe the last stand at the Alamo, maybe I'm trying to think of some other historic matters when they thought they had enough people, but they didn't have enough horses. They thought they had enough security guard, but there were about 10,000 too less, too many, not enough. Too many people on the field.
I think, in my opinion, it'll be a while before this post-game celebration is going to be affected because of this security problem. So I think it'd be wise for us to just move on.
Step aside and move on and see what we can do.
We'd like to thank everybody in the booth. Bill Osborne, thank you for your tremendous insight. You played this game at a very high level. You played several different positions. I think you give it a broad understanding because you've played several different positions. And it is always a weekly treat to hear you teach me more and more about this great game of football.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank Paul Pish, our sideline reporter, our spotters throughout the season, Don DeBlasio spotting the Pittsburgh Panthers, Bill Hillgrove Jr. handling the opposition, our producer Marty Caridi, his first year in the booth, Mel Check, his first year in the booth. We got one